Are all of you online? Am I audible? Streaming fine? इसका रिमोट दे दिया करो कैमरा का क्या रखे हो नहीं वो नहीं है Hi, good evening. So we have shared the link with you on your chat. I am Anshu, Ibrahim, Mani, Vidhi, Devarga. Yes, the link is up there. Welcome back, Operation Lavasana. Yeah, I like the spirit there. It should be like a mission approach. Okay, just setting up. Hi, Sanjeev. My wishes to you. Okay, we start now. Online, offline. I think you've all got your printouts. Ganesh, ऊपर है link. Thank you. ऊपर link है. Can somebody post the link again? Ram, if you are there, can you post the link on this chat also? Hi Kunal, अभी करते हैं share. Hi Sanjeev. Yes, just give us a minute. Good afternoon, Kunal. Yeah, just give us a minute. I'm posting the link on the other one also. Okay, meanwhile, let me have initiation here. So we have articles across IR. One article we have on agriculture, on heat wave. Okay, we found something. One on polity and governance about the Constitutional Amendment Act. We have one also on health issues, the social sector, and I've picked up a general reading also. Why I'll tell you, you can learn something from that also. So in these sessions, what I do is fundamentally have a conversational discussion where the idea is that you also start appreciating how some things are written and how some ideas are developed. This is a common problem students have in developing essay writing skills. And moreover, I have told you, you need not do editorial article readings every day. If you give us one day, 6-7 articles, that's a decent progress we have. So one day you have compilation of all current affairs. Yesterday we had for economy. And today you have a reading. So keep these 2 days for current affairs work. You are done, more or less. Okay, that's the idea. Okay, you'll get your references eventually. So meanwhile, let me start the readings. So the first article I'm taking up is generic one, which is, I will do maybe 2 odd readings. Baki sir will do 1 or 2 readings. Baki, I leave it to you. You have learned something, you can keep on applying on that. Okay, so you can watch the screen for the time being. Nothing much to note immediately. Okay, let's read through once. So the article is Nurturing Empathy. Vineet Mishra, 2nd June, The Hindu. Okay. See, these kind of readings is what we have not been doing. We generally look for readings which are rich in content or facts. This is a very generic one. It's a very essay type of reading. Let's do this. I'll tell you what you will learn from this. Okay. So I presume you understand what we mean by empathy. Okay. This you can use in your ethics paper also. Empathy is basically identifying somebody else's condition, his pains, his problems, with that as your problem. Identifying somebody's troubles, okay, and feeling what he might feel, okay, is what's called empathy. Empathy is not same as sympathy. You don't feel sorry for somebody, but you try to relive or maybe re-experience, at least vicariously, what a person might be feeling. Okay, so empathy is one of the values that we would like people to have. Empathy, sensitivity, a sense of understanding, and so on. Okay? So nurturing empathy is the theme of this topic or name. Okay, it says, in a world often fraught with conflict and divisions, the call of empathy resounds louder than ever. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, is not merely a soft skill, but a fundamental building block of a harmonious society. As we navigate complex social, cultural, and political landscape, nurturing empathy becomes imperative for fostering understanding, compassion, unity. अब देखो, इस पैराग्राफ में क्या क्या है देखो. The paragraph has how empathy is relevant in a time when we have conflicts. What is empathy? The importance of empathy in building the harmonious society. Because what empathy will do is, it will help us navigate complex, okay, it will help us foster understanding, compassion, unity. This type of writing is typically what's called as thesis writing. In thesis is a way of summarizing something in one sentence, a maximum 2 sentences. So thesis writing क्या होता है? It gives us a very clear idea कि article किस बारे में है. Okay, so this one paragraph has what is empathy? Why do we need empathy? Because world is fighting. It can help us build harmony. How it can build harmony? Because it will give us understanding, compassion, and unity. So what is empathy? Okay. How can empathy help, and why it can help like that? An example of thesis writing. This is a tool you can use in any essay's introduction. I've seen students talk about a generic introduction, okay, where sir हम एक quotation डाल देंगे. Then I ask students, बताओ कितना quotation याद है बताओ? And most of them can't quote more than 1 or 2 proverbs that they know. वो quotations भी नहीं है. To remember quotations which are appropriate to topic asked, you must have a humongous एटलीस्ट 20-30 का बैंक होना चाहिए रटा हुआ, एंड देन यू नो हाउ टू अप्लाई. एक और फॉर्मूला यूज करते हैं बच्चे, दे स्टार्ट यूजिंग स्टोरीज. सर स्टोरी लिख देंगे, okay, what otherwise called anecdote. That's a nice beginning, but story writing also is a very different art. Not everybody gets marks just because he wrote a story. Okay, a story you can't afford to write more than one paragraph. 1000 word का essay है. You think you can write a story in 200 words or what? Okay, so story writing is a very tough art. Okay, and for me, I think the simplest is start the essay with a thesis. कि एक पैराग्राफ में बता दो आप क्या कहना चाहते हो. Today's class is about essays reading or learning reading skills through reading articles, where you will learn how ideas are organized, how ideas are argued, and how again essay can be structured. That's it. आज के क्लास का I have given you a thesis. So thesis is like a summary that tells you what you are going to do and also tells us how you'll establish this. So this tells us the essay is about empathy, why empathy is important in solving today's problems, and how does empathy solve it. It solves because it helps understanding, it builds unity, it helps us become compassionate, and it can help solve political conflicts, which are the problems of our today's time. So remember this idea. What is a thesis in essays writing? Okay, let's come ahead. अब ये करेंगे expand धीरे धीरे. Thesis bridges gaps between individuals. Okay, fostering connections, building bridges across diverse communities. It transcends boundaries of race, religion, and ideology, reminding us of our shared humanity. When we step into someone else's shoes, we gain a deeper understanding of their experience, struggles, and aspirations. This understanding lays the foundation of the meaning of dialogue, cooperation, and collective action. इस paragraph का always have this ability कि one paragraph या one page का key idea क्या है? The key idea of this paragraph is that empathy helps us bridge the gaps. Because see, the essay starts with empathy can help us solve conflicts. Empathy can help us deal with divisions. Empathy can help us navigate complex political landscapes. तो बहुत important part ये होगा ना कि empathy must bridge the gaps. So this paragraph is about how empathy bridges gap, okay, to help resolve. This is the link between the first and the second paragraph. First paragraph has conflicts hai, solve karo through empathy. Why? Because empathy can do this. And then learn one more thing. The writer has a very smart way of describing something using related or same meaning phrases. देखो, empathy bridges gap, fosters communications, builds bridges. Okay. It transcends boundaries. सब में वही कहना चाह रहे हैं कि गैप है, हम गैप को क्लोज कर रहे हैं. How I build a bridge, how it helps us bridge individuals' gaps, how it brings diverse people together. When we step into somebody else's shoes, we gain understanding, and this lays the foundation of meaningful dialogue, cooperation, collective action. This is one technique of writing. I am feeling good. I am feeling relaxed. Now I think I am more comfortable. I am not under stress. Okay, I am less under some expectations. कहना वही चाह रहा हूं मैं कि I am feeling relaxed. So one technique of writing is writing something with 3-4 alternate words. Okay, this is difficult. This does not look doable. This is formidable. I feel it's challenging. I think it is pretty much not my domain. So I feel disempowered. कहना वही चाह रहे हैं. It's difficult. So you need to look for this when developing your write-ups. So एक thesis सीखो. Okay. Pick up an idea of a thesis and build the paragraph on that theme. Okay. And in that theme, try using alternate words. ठीक है? Okay. In an era of polarization, देखो अब ये चीज को वापस emphasize कर रहे हैं. Okay. This is the thesis, okay, that empathy is important. It will help solve conflicts. How it solves conflicts? Because it helps us to bridge. Okay, and how will bridge? बता दिया. फिर आगे same idea, again de-emphasizing. In an era marked by polarization and intolerance, empathy serves as a powerful antidote. It challenges us to move beyond our perspective and biases, embracing richness of diversity. By acknowledging the lived experience of others, we cultivate a culture of respect, okay, empathy and inclusivity. Empathy compels us to listen attentively, speak thoughtfully, act compassionately in the face of adversity and injustice. What I want to write down, the key idea is, I will write about, it will bridge gaps, okay, and this is about detailing, ये कैसे करेगा bridge gaps. यहाँ पर तो एक word है, dialogue, cooperation, collective action. यहाँ पे इसने खोल दिया that we are polarized, we are intolerant. What it will do? It will help us go beyond our perspectives. It will help us go beyond biases. It will help us embrace richness. It helps us live others' experience. It helps us cultivate a culture of respect, inclusivity. It helps us to listen attentively. It helps us to speak thoughtfully. It helps us to act compassionately in face of adversity and injustice. अगर आपको टूल समझ में आ गया क्या किया जा रहा है, okay, then it is a very interesting read. Otherwise, okay, compassion क्या है, why we need it, it's over. So people tell me, sir, I wrote 3 dimensions. I always ask, बताओ कैसे लिखा आपने? If you look at this write-up, 3 paragraphs, so dimension एक ही है. Dimension is that empathy will help us solve conflicts. एक dimension है, okay, but see how it's developing it. Okay, so in your writing skills, one thing you have to learn is learn a range of alternate expression. And देखो इसमें you realize one thing, no, there's no big vocabulary, no, regular vocabulary है. Okay, I am thinking compassionately. You cannot say मुझे पता नहीं compassionate क्या होता है. Listen attentively, speak thoughtfully, embrace richness, okay, experience others, okay, beyond our own perspectives. इसमें vocabulary का game नहीं है. It's about developing phrases that conveys what you want to say. Okay, look ahead. Educating future generations in empathy is paramount. Schools, education institutions play a pivotal role in instilling empathy as a core value. By integrating empathy building practices into curricula and extracurricular activities, we equip young minds with tools to navigate complex social dynamics with sensitivity and understanding. Through storytelling, role-playing, community service, initiatives, students learn to appreciate diverse perspective and develop empathy as guiding principles in their lives. ये बताओ इसमें क्या कर रहा है? What is he doing here? This is the summary of the essay. This is how it will bridge conflicts. This is detailing for bridging the gaps, what empathy can do. अब पूरा टोन चेंज हुआ. He started with how to do it. Solutions पे आ गया. Solution में says fundamentally it is educating future generations. Every write-up has a thesis. Similarly, every paragraph also has a thesis. There's one core idea. This paragraph is about how to have empathy by nurturing, by educating people. Okay, so empathy should be part of the school curriculum. Empathy should be a part of core value. Add empathy in extracurricular activities. Add empathy through storytelling, role-playing, method, techniques, how to do it. This is a solution paragraph. Look at the next paragraph. Furthermore, fostering empathy requires systemic changes at a societal level. इसमें क्या है? How empathy can become part of a life through education. This is about how to have empathy in our social life, how to develop that empathy. Social life में कैसे करना होगा? NGOs, grassroots organizations must prioritize community building programs, conflict resolution training, dialogue initiatives, inclusive society, meaningful interaction, collaboration, sow the seeds of empathy and solidarity across communities. This is the education. This is the education level engagement. This is the social level engagement. जब आप आर्टिकल पढ़ो ना, have an eye for this कि how is he navigating, एक आइडिया डेवलप कैसे किया जा रहा है. It's not, आप पढ़ोगे ना, there are no headings, right? There are no headings here because the key sentence is the heading itself. So I know education generation, I know यही heading है. That systematic change social level, this is the heading itself. Okay, in this, okay, that polarization is a powerful antidote. ये heading है. That it is a solution to the conflicts that we have. Okay. Education level, this is education thing, social thing. Now it says at the individual level, अब ये heading है. Individuals too have a role to play. Small acts of kindness, active listening, empathy gestures, okay, fostering culture of empathy, cultivating empathy as guiding principles, and so on. So what can we do at the individual levels? Okay. As we navigate the complexities of the modern world, let us heed the call for empathy. Let us strive to understand, support, uplift one another. In the words of Gandhiji, the simplest act of kindness are the more powerful than 1,000 heads going in prayer. In embracing empathy, we embrace the essence of humanity. It's a conclusion. So, what is the importance of empathy? Vapas usne reaffirm kar diya. It's like, I start with what is empathy? Why do I need it? Okay, how can it solve the conflicts of the world? Okay, detailing what exactly it does, what we can do at school level, what I can do at social level, what I can do at individual level, close it. Therefore, empathy is important, let us do it. Ye hai design of your writing. See, Ganesh, this learning only happens like this. So, what's happening is, for most of us, we do not read articles with this eye. Aur kitna time laga batao? I am reading, explaining, it has not taken me more than 10-15 minutes. You have to have patience, nothing else. अगर आपने ये डिजाइन 2-3 बार देख लिया ना, you know अच्छा ऐसे ऐसे ऑर्गेनाइज किया जाता है. So one tool I tell my students in essays writing is, okay, for every paragraph think of कि आप किस हेडिंग पे लिख रहे हो. अगर हेडिंग नहीं बना पा रहे हो, इसका मतलब है राइटिंग इज ऑल ओवर द प्लेस. अगर हेडिंग बन पा रहा है, you have got the discussion spot on with the paragraph. So I can put a heading, no? Achha, now look at this. I'm asking all of you. All of you turn the paper. Band karo. Okay. All of you turn the paper. I'm asking questions. Aapne sun liya. What was the article about? What was the article? Give me one phrase or 2 words. What was the article about? Will you say empathy के बारे में था? Yes. Need of empathy के बारे में था? Yes. Anybody else has an idea? How to develop empathy? Yes. Importance of empathy and conflict, ये सब सही बोल रहे हो ना? पर कोई एक आइडिया तो होगा. क्या आइडिया क्या था इसे बताओ? The writer wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 paragraphs. In 7 paragraphs, 1, 2, 3 is about how to have empathy or how to develop empathy. Why? Because heading is nurturing empathy. It is not about empathy. It's not even about important empathy. It's actually about how to nurture. ये word अगर आप ध्यान नहीं दोगे, आप ऐसे लिख के आओगे. What is empathy? Like, why do we need empathy? How can we have empathy? Examples of empathy. Conclusion. If the article was empathy and its significance, तब ये शायद ये 3 पैराग्राफ नहीं होता, ये 1 पैराग्राफ होता. Then I would elaborate it on why we need empathy. So, all of you here. So, the key words of the topic are very important. The reason 7 paragraphs में से he has focused on 3 paragraphs, which is on how to have empathy. Education school level, social level, and individual level. Money. No, the article is not about how empathy can help. It is not about empathy is necessary for bridging power. वो तो लिखा है, ठीक है. Okay, Sachit, again wrong. Okay, Kehon, wrong. Okay, Operation Labasna, even you got it wrong. Did you all catch this point, all of you? The reason why the writer writes disproportionately more on how to have empathy, because the topic is nurturing empathy. So what he did, all other issues, it's important to bridge the problem. How to nurture is elaborating at school level, okay, at social level, at individual level. Anuba, we have done this. Maybe your friend can again post the link. Scroll back in the chat, you'll get the link of the article. Did you all get a sense, all of you? We will ask me, sir, आप कोई अच्छा essays okay, किस किताब से पढ़ेंगे? मैंने कहा articles आपके essays हैं. Okay, and use these words in ethics paper. Okay, how to foster, how to resolve conflicts. Okay, the importance of empathy in issues related to social, okay, whatever. Education reforms में डाल दो एक paragraph. Okay, we need a change in education process itself, because the curriculum must add empathy issues, and say something there. Pravash, again wrong. Okay, topic में बहुत कुछ लिखा गया है. The core theme is on the heading nurturing empathy. ठीक है? Okay. I hope you guys are learning something. Okay. The reason why I pick up these articles is this. Okay. Let us take up a bit longer one. Last article hai, when we had one discussion on Chabahar port, I think couple of weeks ago. Okay. The missing links in India, Middle East, Europe corridor. No, Mahesh, not develop empathy, but to nurture, to teach empathy. Developing is different. Nurture matlab aap usko bana rahe ho from external source also. How to foster empathy. ठीक है? अच्छा, अब we will pay attention to the topics. Okay? Topic का title क्या है? So the missing link in India, Middle East, Europe corridor, which you know as IMEEC or whatever, okay, as shown by Gaza War. Rajiv Agarwal, okay, 25th May, The Hindu. Looking at this article name, what do you think it's about? पढ़ो ना, इतना क्यों दोबारा आर्टिकल पढ़ो, क्या लिखा है? The missing links, okay, in the India, Middle East, Europe corridor, as shown by the Gaza war. आप बताओ आर्टिकल किस बारे में होगा? इस समझ में आ रहा है कि इंडिया मिडल ईस्ट कॉरिडोर इज नॉट INSTC, इट इज नॉट इवन चाबहार जरांज, okay, वो भी नहीं है. What's it about? What is it about? Okay, Gaza war impacts. Okay, ठीक है, लिखा है अशुर में Gaza war. Say missing link का मतलब क्या है? What is saying? That something is wrong in the design of IMEC. And what's wrong? The Gaza war has opened that up for us. Mehakdeep, this is, sorry, it is about IMEC. अब लिख देता it's about the world, लिख देता काम खत्म था ना. So it is about the world, काम खत्म. Yes, something we did not pay attention to, okay, something that we probably missed out. The Gaza war tells us what is wrong with IMEEC. अगर ये पकड़ना सीख गए ना, it's actually a very simple thing. Pay some attention. आप क्या करते हो? आप लोग कीवर्ड देख लेते हो, ये देख लेते हो. So it's about IMEC. Yes, come on, Kunal, correct. Got it, all of you? अच्छा, now if I was writing the essay, all watch, I'm teaching something to you guys. कि अगर मैं लिख आप लिख रहे होते, so my theme was that what are the gaps in IMEC which the Gaza war has probably made us aware of. Okay, how would I develop the essay? I would develop the essay something like IMEC is a very good thing. It has lot of promises. We can achieve this, we can achieve this, achieve this. However, we didn't realize there are some problems. Why? Because when Gaza war happened, this is what it did, this is what it did, this is what it did. So now we know, although the IMEC idea is very good, but if we do not plug these problems, okay, I will have a problem. Therefore, this is my solution. दिख रहा है आपका storyline? Okay, this is the storyline of this article. If I was developing it, okay, you can think of same lines. कि अगर मैं लिखूंगा, इसमें कैसे लिखूंगा? मुझे पता नहीं क्या लिखना है. But can I develop a storyline or not? Say my theme's name is, okay, brave crowd helps the boy from the well. ठीक है? So मैं story बना रहा हूँ. Story is brave crowd saves the boy. The story is about the boy or the brave crowd. I say, oh, it's about the brave crowd. Okay, so brave crowd, because brave is the strong adjective for the crowd. तो ये brave crowd के बारे में तो मैं ये लिखूंगा कि generally we think, okay, people are not brave. They tend to ignore. There are X example, they have done this, they have done that. So लगता है कि people brave नहीं है. But what happened? Very interesting event yesterday night. A boy fell in the well, and you know, somebody said this, somebody said this. But then it was surprising to see how the people got together. They did this, they got together. This is what they did. They thought, they planned, and finally they rescued the boy. Therefore, the idea that crowds are not brave is a wrong idea, because this tells us they can save the boy, and probably if we put them together, they can do even better things for the world. बना story आपका? For every writing, you need to have a storyline. How do you develop the idea? अगर ये idea बन जाता है ना, फिर writing is not a problem. When people struggle, how to end, how to begin, how to end. मैंने कहा यार end, beginning, how can I tell you? It depends on your storyline. Or look at how I change storyline again. I'll say, a boy fell in the well, and it was a normal day. Nobody thought there would be disaster. Okay, although we had warnings, and this happened, that happened, the boy fell down. Then a lot of people came, they could not help him. Finally, a group got together, and many of them were scared, many of them are inexperienced, they didn't have training. However, they did XYZ fact, and they saved the boy from the well. This tells me that in a society, okay, crowds do matter. It will be better if this kind of bravery can be repeated more often, for which maybe we need to train the crowds more so that they can take care of disasters otherwise also. पूरा storyline change हो गया मेरा. The first story I started with, crowds are, okay, not acknowledged. Second started with the event itself, कि boy fell in the well, and this is the storyline. So as a you can say an automated mind, ये idea develop करने की कोशिश करो. Given any topic, any question, sit on the storyline. How will I develop the idea as a linear pathway of ideas? ठीक है? Now we will see. So now if I go back and check the first essay, can I see a story in this now? Okay, that empathy, आज का दुनिया is very fragmented, conflicts हैं. We need to do many things, but empathy is more important because empathy can do this. How can empathy do it? Because empathy helps us bridge the gaps by doing ABC. Okay, and to do this ABC, I must have dialogues. I must go beyond my biases. I must go beyond my prejudice. Okay, I must be willing to listen more. Okay, that's how we can solve the problem world. So empathy is very important. Therefore, let's foster it by education, social issues, based training, by individual initiatives. Therefore, let's not ignore empathy. Let us encourage it, and Gandhiji says it, therefore it's important. Mila storyline all of you here? So most of us struggle with the idea, okay, सर कंटेंट नहीं है, सर मेरा लैंग्वेज ठीक नहीं है. मैंने कहा कंटेंट लैंग्वेज इशू है ही नहीं, आपके पास स्टोरी नहीं है. प्रॉब्लम ये है, you do not know how to start and how to end. Okay, and even if you have got few points, जैसे इस essay में few point was how to do it, and he very smartly broke it up. In fact, I call this as, in essay writing, if some of you join me eventually, I call this as nudge effect. Nudge effect मतलब होता है किसी essay का जो quality है उसको एक लेवल ऊपर उठा दो. Give it a nudge, a push. Okay, importance of happiness. Happiness does this, happiness does this, happiness does this. लिखा आपने. Nudge effect. Happiness, how it helps an individual. Happiness, how it helps society. Happiness, how it can help a country. Happiness, how the world can be a better place. So there are different tools of elevating the argument. Okay. In this tool, what I'm doing is I'm going at different levels. ये टेक्निक यूज किया इस ऐसे ने. Education at individual level, education at societal level, education at the school level. ये one technique of elevating the article. Okay. ऐसे बहुत सारे tools हैं. Okay. We call this, I call this as a nudge effect. As in, give your essay a push into the next level of thinking. No. Okay. Syllabus completion is not the criteria. इसमें क्या syllabus complete करोगे यार? Okay. Syllabus completion gives you a range of things to talk about. But what you need actually is an organized mindset in, okay, opening up the thread how to develop an idea. जैसे पापा के पास जाते हो, पापा मुझे, I'm thinking, पापा मुझे पैसे चाहिए, शॉपिंग जाना है. आप पापा को बोलते कैसे हो? मेक अ स्टोरी, नो. पापा आप बड़े थके लग रहे हो आज, ऑफिस से आए हो, पता नहीं पानी वानी पी रहे हो, पापा चाय पी रहे हो, मैं बनाता हूँ चाय आज. अच्छा पापा, मैंने सुबह से होमवर्क कर लिया था और पढ़ाई भी बढ़िया कर लिया मैंने, और मुझे लगता है थोड़ा सा मुझे फ्री टाइम चाहिए. पापा इफ यू डोंट माइंड, एक रिक्वेस्ट करूँ आपके से. मैं घूमने जाना चाहता हूँ, जाऊं? अच्छा पापा जाऊंगा तो मैं सोच रहा हूँ वो शर्ट खरीद लूं. दिस इज स्टोरी लाइन. Okay, this is developing a viable argument in anything. Storylines are a cue to your ability to think analytically. What is being tested here is not a vocabulary. मैं टेस्ट कर रहा हूं कि आपके पास organized thinking है कि नहीं. Do you have an idea about what I want to say first, what I will say next, what I will say next? Content will come later on. Give me the thread of your line first. So what is being tested? I repeat this. Essays में क्या टेस्ट किया जाता है? Your thinking ability. They test your ability to link concepts. They test ability of going deep and opening up a concept. Empathy can be done by education. अब खोलो उसको. Okay. Curriculum, extra curriculum, okay. Priority based some activities. Open it up. Education school के beyond भी हो सकता है, society. So I've gone deep, I've opened up. That's what they're testing. They're testing your administration skills, which is an analytical mind. An analytical mind का बहुत important aspect है, are you organized or not? So when I see an essay organized नहीं है ना, you as a person is not organized. आपका thought for random आता है. So storyline is the biggest challenge why people miss out. And in answer writing, I do this every time. Type the question and tell me the storyline. Batao. So if your storyline is fixed, okay, then you know how to begin, you also know how to end. Yes, you can join, but you must have some sense of, okay, what the content is. Okay? Anyway, let's get back to our article reading. Okay, let's start off. So now you got a sense कि article किस बारे में होगा. Now let us see how he has organized it. He starts with, On May 13th, 24, India-Iran signed a 10-year-old bilateral contract. Chabahar Port, linked Indian Ports Global Limited. The President of Indian Ports Shipping Waterway by Minister Sabanand Sonowal. He said the deal with Chabahar Port is important, etc. It's a critical economic route that links India, Afghanistan and Central Asian countries. अरे मुझे तो पढ़ा था कि यार ये IMEC के बारे में है, ये तो चाबहार पोर्ट के बारे में बात कर रहा है. See what is done here? Okay. Then he says, but before this, a similar equally important connectivity project IMC was signed on sidelines of G20 summit. ये आपका लिंक है. I gave a backgrounder story. Okay. Because recently we have signed this, but wait. इसके पहले एक और इंटरेस्टिंग डेवलपमेंट हुआ था, उसके बारे में लिख रहा हूं मैं. Got it, all of you? Okay. So this is kind of, जैसे मुझे शर्ट खरीदना है, पैसा चाहिए, पापा आप कैसे हो बताओ, चाय पियोगे, ये वो वाला गेम है. I've taken you off course to tell you I am establishing a context कि इतना डिबेट हो रहा है चाबहार पोर्ट के बारे में, so much talk about India Iran, but wait, एक और इंपॉर्टेंट इशू आप मिस कर जा रहे हो. There's another way of, so in the first essay the beginning was what? Thesis writing. In this essay the beginning is contextual develop, current affair based writing. इसको बोलते हैं contextual writing. Develop the idea from what is in news already. समझ में आया? Contextual beginning. Okay. Then quickly he shifts. Okay. But before this, a similar equally important connectivity project, IMEC or India, etc. Okay. And now he's saying, SSND between European Union, France, Germany, etc. Design formulated partnership, global this one. This is the detail, factual details of वो क्या है, कौन कर रहा है, कहाँ आया. So दो पैराग्राफ पढ़ के the examiner knows कि अच्छा he knows what is IMEC. Establish कर दिया मैंने. In this I've established the credibility कि look I know the concept very well. अब बात करते हैं आगे, चलो बात करते हैं. Okay, so see these kind of writings जो contextual होता है ना, we call this as hooks. Okay, hook is something which is interesting to catch your attention. Iran, Chabahar Port, geopolitical security, अभी साइन किया, यूएस ने अपोज किया, यूएस ने थ्रेटन किया, I've caught your attention. Okay, which in the social media context we call that as clickbait. वो आप thumbnail लेके आप क्लिक कर देते हो ना कि देखते हैं क्या है. This is your clickbait. You take up an interesting idea and develop from there. Okay, all of you? Let's move on. Okay, this is the detailing, not much here. IMEC will compromise two corridors, East Corridor, North Corridor, Arabian Sea, एक railway network भी है. It also has a transit network, railway route, a laying of electricity, a clean hydrogen port, a Kandla, Mumbai, Mundra will be connected, a railroad, etc. Okay, Marseille, France, Messina, ये भी क्या है? It's a detailing of the project. I am still building the story. मेरे पास word limit का constraint नहीं है. ये context है. I'll talk about IMC and this is what IMC is. ठीक है? अभी भी actual article शुरू नहीं हुआ है. Then it says, okay, this is what IMEC is. Okay. This also is what IMEC is. Then he comes and says, that this 4,000 kilometers, what it aims to do, what it has, what it aims to do. Pehla sentence mein very clear. This is the thesis of the paragraph. It aims to do supply chains, trade accessibility, trade facilitation. With Suez Canal, there's no overland access, so IMC will overcome the obstacle. It will provide an alternative to the Suez Canal. Okay, it will save time, distance, costs. Now, data they ke bata diya, yes, cost will be lesser by 30%, 40%, whatever. The most effective counter to China's Belt Road Initiative, and therefore US has a make. So he's established, देखो IMC बहुत important है. Okay, this is what IMC has, This is what IMC will do. And in your notes, ये keywords होना चाहिए. Keywords are, it secures regional supply chains. It gives you trade accessibility. It improves trade facilitation. It's an alternative to the Suez Canal route, because India does not have overland. It is cheaper, saves time, saves distance, saves costs. It is so important that it can be seen as a counter to OBOR. Therefore, US का भी support है. ये आपके keywords हैं. Memorize this. What is the importance of IMEC? This is the importance of IMEC. Now next. अब आपका शुरू हुआ. Look at the topic here. Topic was what? The missing link shown by the Gaza war. अब बताएगा कि गाजा वॉर ने क्या बताया. तो अभी तक क्या है? All agree IMEC is a great project. We need it. It can change the dynamics. This is what countries involved. Now let's see what Gaza war did. But even before the potential impact, the pathbreaking project would be examined. The war of Gaza broke out. 6 months. The whole project was stalled. इतना बड़ा project है, वो पूरा बंद ही हो गया before takeoff. In review, EM said, Jaishankar ji said, there is a delay in implementation. It's a matter of concern. The expectation generated following firming up initiative has to be adjusted now. He was confident that the work on project will progress. So, itna bada project hai, unfortunately, it has been stalled. Ye paragraph is, it has been stalled. Stalled and we must, Then it says, however, Gaza has amply proven that IMC has serious missing links. So, actually, ऐसे यहाँ शुरू हो रहा है. देखो, in the examination, आपको इतना scope नहीं है. You have 10 pages to write down. You must hit the paragraph in the first page itself. And if possible, the first paragraph itself. If I was in this place, ऐसे में मैं यहीं से शुरू करता. IMC is very important, will do this. However, it has a serious missing link as exposed by the Gaza war. क्या link है देखो? In the course of war, Houthis in Yemen have blocked the ships. Despite naval deployment, Houthis have not been deterred. It has targeted ships. Israel and Western allies have been forced to take longer routes. So, it is vulnerable to attacks by the Houthis of the Yemen. This is one big gap. Same period, Iran has threatened to close the Strait of Hormuz, which is through which most crude oil gas is shipped. A similar situation happened, Persian Gulf crisis maybe, drowning of US drone. Reports that the UN's president ordered retaliatory strikes and so on. Second is, even Iran has been consistent threatening it can shut down Hormuz Strait if there is a conflict. So Houthis are a challenge. Iran is also not reliable because if comes to it, it can shut down Hormuz Strait also. ये दो gap खुल गया आपका. Because of this, Iran intercepting, India had to go for Operation Sankalp for safe passage of Indian ships and so on. Coming back to Gaza war, in Israel में दो important port हैं इसके. Eilat पे है, southern Israel and Haifa. Haifa is a very important port. And both the ports were disrupted because of the attacks by Hasman. A consortium of Indian Adani Group purchased, or Adani Group ने Haifa port को purchase किया हुआ है. Expecting expansion, unfortunately the Gaza had held everything. So look at the uncertainty. Houthis control में नहीं है. Iran is threatening, and Israel, which is so fortified, उसके दो port have been disrupted, which means, the IMEC is not really a safe corridor for trade, not reliable one. अब बताएगा हमें करना क्या चाहिए. ठीक है. So if I ask you, what is the article about? The article is not about importance of IMEC. The article is not about, how will India gain from IMEC? It's not about what is IMEC. The article is about IMEC is a great idea. It is required, but there are gaps in its planning which we must rectify. Gap क्या है? Is vulnerable to attacks by Houthis, vulnerable disruptions because Iran keeps on threatening that, and Israel route भी बड़ा खतरनाक है. तो आपको क्या लगता है आगे क्या बोल रहा होगा? He'll suggest an alternative route, no? He'll suggest how it can take up. It says IMEC envisages ports in UAE such as Fujairah and Jebel Ali. ये दो फोर्ट UAE में है. But problem is these two forts are inside the state or near the state of Hormuz. They form the eastern offshore points. The problem here is all ports of UAE are located in the Persian Gulf and within the state of Hormuz. Therefore, they always will be threatened. This is one point. The Hormuz Strait, Fujairah and Jebel Ali are not the good options for IMEC. Okay. What's the way out? Oman is the way out. Oman provides perfect foil to the threat. Its ports open into Arabian Sea, away from Iranian threat. It offers closest and direct links. Merchants of Oman and India have traded for centuries. Oman is considered India's gateway to the West, okay, and good relationship with Israel or Oman का अच्छा Israel के साथ में है. So the way out is explore Oman's port rather than UAE's Al Fujairah and Jebel Ali port. ये solution number 1 है. ठीक है? Number 2, similarly towards the west, instead of Israel ports, alternative spur is through Egypt, ending at major ports. They provide a safe direct ports to Europe. Egypt is a major player, West Asia में. Egypt has good relationship with Europe, Israel, and quite a voiced displeasure of being left out. So IMEC में Egypt नहीं है. Now the correction is bring Egypt and make the port, the route through Egypt rather than through Israel. This is second solution. So see how he has dubbed the essay. Okay. A contextual history background दे दिया. He has caught your attention. Then the writer talks about what is IMEC, कौन है, कितने countries हैं, how it will benefit us in some ways. Okay. Then he says इतना important है. However, these are the 3 problems. Okay. Iran is threatening. You cannot trust Houthis and the rest. And Israel is always unstable because itna secure country, Haifa and Eilat has been attacked. And even if India has, Indian entity, Adani has bought the Haifa port, even then, it is not the proper way forward. Then you move towards solution. Solution is, number 1, Hormuz se hato. So we don't want UAE's ports, let us explore Oman's port. Oman's a relationship. Oman also has a good relationship with Israel also. I hope you got the points here, all of you. Okay. This is your second. Egypt is the next option. With the inclusion of Oman in Egypt, IMC can be made safe from disruptions from future conflicts. Therefore, it is considered vital to plug the critical missing links in the current structure of IMEC. The actual essay का theme यहाँ पर है. What we must do in terms of solution. इसके पहले what the missing links were. Now look at the conclusion. Okay. Conclusion is you again reaffirm. How did you start the essay? IMC बहुत important है. अब वही वापस कर रहा है. IMC is futuristic. It is path-breaking initiative. It is based on the wave of reconciliation. Okay. It is not only a foil to BRI, but also tool to integrate the region, insulate from threats of etc. But the missing links highlighted can add a layer to insurance to this ambitious project. The end में क्या किया? Same idea has been reaffirmed again. Therefore, because we have solutions, let us not ignore the importance of IMAC and stop just because war हो गया. You got the idea of storyline, all of you? How you begin, how you end. इसके बाद ना आपको points निकालने में मुश्किल नहीं होगी. So these 2 articles I thought are a very good way of teaching you how some ideas can be structured. Yeah, loopholes. Correct, Mahesh. What are the loopholes in IMEC? So, देखो, do you realize one thing? That these kind of articles, what they do? They give you a perspective on an issue which is not factual current affairs mugging up alone. If I ask you, interview में, अच्छा, what do you think about IMEC? IMEC is very good. It will link India with Israel. It's a great trade opportunity. We did that in G20. That we have added 5 countries, whatever. Is that better? Or I'll say it's a very good idea. We can do this. However, sir, I read somewhere that this project is flawed. अच्छा क्या fraud? बताओ. Okay. I think the flaw number 1 is we have taken a wrong port. Flaw number 2 is we have a wrong corridor. Flaw number 3 is we have not added Egypt. Okay. So I think we can do these things. आप बताओ कौन सा आंसर इंप्रेसिव होगा? Yeah, that's what is required. So your reading of articles is not mere piling up of facts. The article should give you opinion thinking. और ऐसे आर्टिकल्स अगर पढ़ लो 4-5 ना, you are like an IR expert fundamentally. Good evening, Ajju. Your medium is Hindi. Geography optional English. Suggest. Ajju, you have joined the wrong link. We are doing reading sessions. And Hindi is not my domain. Okay, so either you take the class in English and translate. Yeah, I think you got the sense now, all of you. Okay, so all of you now, you could take up some jottings now. Okay, so in the first article, कोई भी आर्टिकल बिना जॉटिंग के छोड़ना मत, वो सब गायब हो जाए. No, it's no use. Okay, the first article. Okay, what is the author trying to tell us? The first article. यही हमारा फॉर्मेट है. What author telling us? How is he telling us? What has he said? And what's the opinion? What's telling us? That empathy is a very important virtue. Empathy is a very important virtue. It can be used to solve global conflicts. And therefore, we need a very organized, we need a very structured approach to nurture and foster empathy in our society. We need a very structured approach, okay, to nurture, to foster empathy in our society at all 3 levels: school education level, at social level, and even at individual level. ठीक है? Okay. Second point, how is he saying that? Okay. According to author, the primary reason of conflicts is lack of understanding, okay, biases, lack of understanding, there are biases, okay, there are less efforts to listen to others' positioning or others' position and concerns. Okay. Today's world is very complex. It's easy to misunderstand, and therefore we have conflicts. So solution lies in empathy, because empathy bridges the gaps. The solution lies in empathy because empathy bridges the gaps. Now please write on your own. How does it bridge the gap? Again, a very good example of again your opinion-based thinking. Again, पूछेगा ना, how to solve India-Pakistan problem? How to solve Middle East crisis? What can we do in Ukraine? एक add कर देना. Sir, I read an article, a very powerful article. While we do X, Y, Z things, sir, बहुत important soft skill है. We must build empathy. अच्छा, उसके बारे में बताओ, फिर गाना गा लो. So you have to see the idea that her issue में I have a new idea to talk about. How to solve Ukraine problem? America can do this, Russia can do this, India can do this. ये सब हो गया. However, sir, एक और dimension है, which is a soft skill, which we miss out. What is it? Sir, empathy. शुरू करो. I read one article in the Hindu newspaper, okay, and I liked it, sir, okay, which is about, चलो हो जाओ. And I think, sir, our NEP is very nice, because NEP indirectly we have been talking about fostering empathy. बताओ whatever you know. So you interview essays में ना, you can showcase yourself as a thinking person. not mechanically writing down points or selling points जो यहां वहां सुना हुआ है. Take all of you. Okay, so what can we do? So why? Because it can bridge gaps and pick up words from the article itself. Okay, it's a powerful antidote. Go beyond our own perspective and biases. You can live experiences of others. You can culture of respect hoga. Active listening hai. Speak thoughtfully. These are the nice words. Cooperation, dialogue. Okay, fostering understanding. Yahi words hain. Why empathy can help us. Finally, okay, what can we do to foster empathy? We must operate at 3 levels. Okay, school, society, and individual. Pick up some words on this. School very specific. It says, empathy as a core value, empathy in extracurricular activities, empathy in social dynamics, empathy through storytelling, role playing. ये कितना अच्छा words है बताओ? Just say, और ये तो कहीं भी डाल दो. In any issue of the world, say environmental issues, it must become a core value. Environment issues should be part of extracurricular activities. Environment issues can be discussed through role playing, community service. Okay, students must learn to appreciate diverse perspectives in environmental management. ये तो आपका पूरा मसाला आलू है ये वाला, कहीं भी डाल दो काम करेगा ये वाला. How do you solve communal conflicts? Okay, how do you solve caste alienations? How do you take care of gender issues? डाल दो. It should be a core value, extracurricular, a role playing. You are on. एकदम बना बनाया आपका पैराग्राफ बना हुआ है. रट्टा मार के इसको हर जगह डालो. Yeah. In fact, the entire structure, I love this structure ये वाला. I can use across any solutions I want to talk about. रट लो इसको. Any essay में ये फिट कर देना. इसी vocabulary में. You are home. Yeah? ठीक है? So that's your job now, okay? The next article, a fresh page, some jottings. Jottings, article ना, और हमेशा ना, look for the names, कौन लिख रहा है? They become your quotes eventually. Okay, they can be used as examples if you want to use. So Rajiv Agarwal, although I do that, इस बार किया नहीं है. We also had a short paragraph on who they are. इस बार somehow we have missed that point out. So anyways, what's the article about? The article is about IMEC is a promising futuristic project. Okay, it can be a good counter to China's BRI. It has great trade facilitation potential. Okay, it can secure regional supply lines. ये सब इसी से उठा रहे हैं हम. Page number 2, look at this paragraph here. इसी में है. IMEC is great. Secure supply lines, trade facilitation, trade accessibility, overcome obstacles, reduce cost, counter to China. Okay, all the good things are here. और यही नहीं. Okay, it can be investment in clean hydrogen energy, okay, railway expansion, development of Indian ports, okay, expansion of Indian railway systems. So it's very, very important. However, the author says there are gaps in IMEC planning and its execution. ये कहानी जरूरत नहीं है. This is okay. It's just a start of the essay. इसको छोड़ दो. Or maybe you could write down. The author feels, although Chabahar agreement with Iran for 10 years is a good step, but we need to focus on IMEC and rectify its design and its structure. Start from there if you want to start off. एक box बना लेना. ये facts of IMEC है. You all agree IMEC is important, all of you? How many of you know all the facts? This is your chance. So, ये article say, look what all I know now. Okay, I don't need to read 10 articles on this. Just one article. उठाओ facts. Okay. Signed on G20. Year भी लिख दिया. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 जो भी number है. Okay. It's under the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investments. It is for stimulating economic development, for connectivity, for integration. ये keywords हैं. Or facts about IMEC. ठीक है? Then, how does he do so? According to author, the following are the problems of IMEC. लिखो. The following are the problems of IMEC. Pick up the words from the article. वही language उठाओ. Pick up the same phrasings. Don't tell me से English आती नहीं है. इतना तो सीखना पड़ेगा आपको. रट्टा मार किसी को. Do this for 1-2 months. Your language will improve. Trust me. ठीक है? What are the problems? Number one, vulnerable to Houthi attacks. Number two, vulnerable to Iran's threats. और ऐड करना उसमें पॉइंट. एग्जाम्पल भी दे दिया ना. Okay, how नेवल डिप्लॉयमेंट नेवी का हुआ 19 में भी ईरान ने ऐसे कहा था, इसने ये बंद कर दिया, वो बंद कर दिया, यूएस वुड हैव अटैक्ड व्हाटएवर. 2-3 पॉइंट्स. थर्ड प्रॉब्लम इज the ports of Israel are also vulnerable. The ports of Israel are also vulnerable. Mahesh, if you can do excellent. The asking is, can we specify names of writers? You can. But या तो होना चाहिए ना. If I was in your place, I would do it at least for 2-3 answers out of 20 answers. और discussion में तो पक्का बोलूंगा मैं. Interview में बैठ के बात कर रहे हैं ना. I read an article, so and so, Jen, Vinita, whatever, she says like this. He says like this. It will make your conversation very powerful. ठीक है? So what are the vulnerabilities? Next, solutions क्या क्या हैं? लिखो solutions. Solution is, okay, Oman as an alternative, not UAE, Al Fujairah and Jebel Ali. Oman as alternative, not UAE and its port. Second is include Egypt, जो हमने छोड़ा हुआ है. We must maybe bypass Israel because ये conflict अभी बंद होने वाला तो है नहीं और vulnerable रहेगा. Include Egypt. ठीक है? Okay. And finally, it's a great project not to be ignored. हो गया आंसर? Yeah, yes. ठीक है? I have time only for these 2 articles. Okay, let me call in Banke sir now. He has another approach because it's economy concepts. Okay, so you need to sit through a bit more patiently on that. ठीक है? I'll call Banke sir now. Okay, 5-6 hours, it's done. Mahesh, all these articles are very nice. It's just about you not reading it. Banke, come over. Yeah, it's open session for all of you, no problems. Just 1 minute, let Banke sir come. Yeah, next week we will have compilation of polity, governance, environment done, polity, and then readings on whatever we have. Yes, polity will be taken by Uttam sir. Correct, Ganesh. Uske baad we'll have science and technology and some miscellaneous also. I'll see if I can come in along with maybe with Devinder sir. Yes. Okay.
हेलो एवरीबॉडी, कैसे हैं आप लोग? हेलो ऑल, गुड आफ्टरनून. So today we have two important topics. One is from economy, that is related to problems in agriculture. Okay, and the second topic we will take up is related to the problems in healthcare sector in India. So what are the problems in healthcare sector, particularly related to regulation of healthcare sector? Good evening everybody. Okay, Rocky भैया पूछ रहे next session कब होगा? Every Friday and Saturday we have current affairs session. Okay, so that's that. Okay. And the first topic we will take up is health regulations need a base to top approach. Okay. Health regulation need a base to top approach. So let's first just discuss the basic idea and then we will go through the articles. Okay. So basic idea is that generally it is understood that healthcare in India is very, there is very less regulation in healthcare. Okay, so we hear news of high cost being charged. Okay, the patient has died, still the cost is being charged, things like that. Okay, so this article takes this claim head on. This article says that the problem is not less regulation, but the problem is more regulation. There is more regulation. And that regulation, since it is more, it increases cost of implementation and ultimately it leads to nothing. ठीक है, तो बहुत ज़्यादा रूल्स रेगुलेशंस बना दिए गए जिसका कि फिर पालन हो नहीं पाता है, ग्लोबल स्टैंडर्ड खुद को डिक्लेयर करने के चक्कर में, और उसका हो नहीं पाता है तो फिर फाइनली पूरा ही हेल्थ सिस्टम क्रैश कर जाता है. दैट्स वन. सेकंड इज अबाउट smaller hospitals, one single doctor hospitals and corporate hospitals. So there is this is second theme article talks about. Most of India is dependent on the single doctor nursing homes, chote nursing homes. Okay, that is the bedrock of India's healthcare center. Okay, that's what the premise of this. Okay, and the corporate hospitals, of course, they are there, but the main burden is being undertaken by the lower ones. So regulation for corporate hospitals and regulations for the smaller hospitals, nursing homes, they cannot be same. If we will have same rule for corporate hospitals for max, and we will have same rule for a small nursing home being run by one or two doctors, then again that is not going to help. Ultimately, cost of implementation will increase, and who will pay? People like you and me. Okay, so whoever will go to the hospitals, they will pay. So cost of healthcare will increase. Okay, this is the second idea. Third idea, which this article talks about, is the difference between private sector healthcare and the government healthcare. Again, says that there is this widespread bias in the mind of people that government hospitals are good. The private sector hospitals, they are very poorly regulated. They are the major problems. Okay, so the level of service being provided in private hospital is bad in comparison to government hospitals. That is the basic perception. But if we see the data, more than 70%, okay, more than 70% of the people takes healthcare from private hospital. Okay, so that shows that more number of people are going to private hospitals. The states who are doing good in healthcare, like the article talks about Maharashtra. If Maharashtra is doing good in healthcare, that is not because of Maharashtra have very good government hospitals. That is because the private hospitals in Maharashtra is doing better than private hospitals in, say, Bihar or Uttar Pradesh. Okay. So these are some of the points the author talks about. Okay, and then we will just write ki problem kya hai, healthcare mein kya problem hai, challenges kya hai, okay? And what are the solutions. This article talks about solutions very well. Iska theme jo hai, this is in GS paper 2. Okay, GS paper 2 जो इसका health करके आप exactly लिखा हुआ है in syllabus. Okay, GS paper 2 में there is a health that's written. Right. Ganesh is saying that people still prefer to visit private hospital for quick action. The government hospital have lack of many things and the bureaucracy. Okay, that's right. Okay, so once I will dictate some of the points. You can file it under this. Okay, and this is social issues. Okay. Now let's okay. So now we'll see important points in the article, and then I will dictate you some points, जो कि आपका take home message हो जाएगा. And question on this is very much likely. So this article talks about healthcare regulation. Okay, maybe UPSC will ask you in general problem of healthcare in India. Okay, so this article becomes subset of that. ठीक है, कि अगर आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछा जा रहा है हेल्थकेयर के इन जनरल प्रॉब्लम में, आपसे रेगुलेशन रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछा जा रहा है, बट हेल्थकेयर का इन जनरल, तो यू कैन यूज 2-3 पॉइंट्स फ्रॉम दिस आर्टिकल in that. Okay, so that is the idea. Okay, so let's see. Now you can see the first paragraph. It talks about an incident in some hospital. Okay, the private hospital in Delhi only. Incident of devastating fire in a private neonatal care nursing home in New Delhi. From this, what you can learn is how to start writing, particularly in essay. Okay, in essay means you have to write longer, 1,000-1,200 words thing. So this is example-based start or case-based start. You can see how you can start writing. So they have started with giving an example. Recently, in a hospital in Delhi, there was a fire in children's section. And as a result, there was some casualties. Okay, and then they say that political parties began a blame game, media coverage intense. Okay, and such tragedies are often followed by question of who should be blamed. Okay, whenever such things happen, people start to find the person who to blame, and then they stop with that. Okay, blame game is not the solution. Author says that yes, you have to fix accountability, that is important, but the problem many times in healthcare is more systemic. Problem is more systemic. You can see the last word of the first paragraph. That problem is more systemic failure. More systemic failure means there is more deep-rooted problems. So it's not like healthcare, it's not like कि आग लग गया तो ठीक है, कोई इलेक्ट्रिक सर्किट हुआ होगा. Yes, that is the ultimate cause कि वो दिख रहा है. But that may be because of some regulatory issues, why nobody checked it, okay, whether the hospital was overburdened, okay. So all that kind of thing. So the main problem may be that systemic problem. So the solution will emerge only when you will find that. Otherwise, though, you will after every event you will find a person, usko hata do काम से, फिर से the system will again continue, same kind of problem will emerge. Okay. Now the second para, it says that the subject of regulation has always been of interest to health program managers, but arguably it is one of the weakest point in India's healthcare. So everybody knows that healthcare sector in India do not have good regulation. Okay, regulatory problems are there. Okay, but people says there are less regulation. Author says that rather it is a problem of excess regulation. Okay, so you can see here, I think the third line of the second paragraph, author says that it is the problem of excess regulation. ठीक है, बहुत ज़्यादा ही हो रहा है. Some states have over 50 approvals under multiple regulation which need to be followed. Okay, so 50 approvals for multiple regulation need to be followed by every health facility. Every health facility, whether it is a very big hospital or whether it is a single doctor nursing home. So everybody will have to follow these 50 regulations, for example, in some state. Okay. So because of this, it becomes impossible to actually implement it. Multiplicity of rules and regulations means none is getting followed and nobody is held accountable. अगर आपको दो काम करने बोला जाएगा, you do this, you do that, you will do that. Okay? If you will have to, if somebody make a regulation of 100 regulations, you will enter via this gate only, you will sit there only, you will write using blue pen only on that square shape copy only, then there is a high chance that you will not be able to follow all the rules and regulations. So that is the main problem here in India, that okay, that over regulation, excess regulation is the main problem. And the third para says that other challenge is unrealistic healthcare quality standard. Okay. So what was the second para was telling you one problem of healthcare, that is excess regulation. Third para talks about another problem, that is unrealistic healthcare quality standards. Be very careful. It's क्या बोल रहा है कि quality expectation या quality standards are unrealistic. वो बहुत ज़्यादा है. It does not mean that actual delivery is very good. But when we make rules, when we make quality standards, then we try to pretend that we are world class. Okay. So we say, like, for example, in hospitals, so there are regulations ki how many doctors should be there, how many nurses should be there, how many lab technicians should be there, okay, what should be the area of outpatient thing, what should be the area of student visit, operation theater, all kind of things. And all these regulations are made keeping in mind the world class standards. But are we capable of delivering on that? If we are not capable of delivering on that, then ultimately हम 100 का try कर रहे थे, हम पहुंचे 50 पर भी नहीं. So it's better कि you try 75 and reach 60. Okay, so that is one goal. That is one idea. The other challenge is unrealistic healthcare quality standards. Governments at every level in India, national and state, are known to draft policies which are near perfect. Okay. So in making rules and regulations, it's like the way we make our routine. कि एकदम सुबह में 4:30 बजे उठना है, योगा करना है, पढ़ाई करना है 3 घंटा, फिर नाश्ता करना है, फिर क्लास आना है, फिर रिवाइज करना है, मतलब एकदम 24 hours routine you have set, perfect routine. It looks very good on paper, but when you start implementing it, you realize that होता उसमें से आधा भी नहीं है. Okay, so better than making 24-hour routine, maybe make 8-hour routine and follow that strictly. In that way, you will have some progress. Okay. So this is the point author is talking about. Okay, this is one big problem. Okay, and the example is, one such example is clinical establishment Registration and Regulation Act 2010. Okay. Very important to, I will dictate you later, but it's very important to give some specific acts, specific policies in your answer. Otherwise, if you will just say कि over regulation hai, perfection hai, okay, so again it will not give that much weightage to your point. The moment you write the name of this, the Clinical Establishment Registration Regulation Act 2010. This, right, Ganesh, right, actual implementation is missing. So, for example, Clinical Establishment Registration Regulation Act 2010, it provides rules for registration and regulation of all the health establishments, okay, both in private and public. And it gives various regulations, again the kind I talked about, कि number of doctors कितना होना चाहिए, specialist कितना होना चाहिए, okay, area कितना होना चाहिए, all these things. But the problem is most of the state governments have not adopted this regulation. This regulation is central government regulation. Okay, healthcare in India is in which domain? India का जो healthcare है वो किस domain में है? State का है या center का है? Okay, health is state government. Okay, so the central government is making act, making regulation, but it can be implemented only if state government will accept it, and the state government will also make rules for that. This regulation, Clinical Establishment Regulation, is so strict, it is so good that state governments thinks that it is not practical to implement. They think that if it will be implemented, yes Shivani, you are right, they think that if it will be implemented, then the cost of healthcare will increase too much. Okay, public will not be able to afford it, and public will not be afforded, that's one. And the smaller nursing homes, single hospital nursing homes, they will not be able to afford it. They have the healthcare facility in say 2 room, 2 room का पूरा healthcare facility है. Okay, if you will say कि there should be a separate space for outpatient, separate space for visiting, this separate space for taking blood sample, okay, and they will need 5-6 rooms. And then if you will say that they must have separate lab technician and a separate person to make accounts, then again they cannot hire that many people. Because generally what happens in single doctor facilities, there is one assistant. That assistant is lab technician also, and he only signs bills and do all kind of things. Okay. So the moment you will states will try to implement Clinical Establishment Regulation Act, the healthcare cost will increase. Okay. So enacted 14 years ago, but not adopted by states. Why? This is because state governments, in discussion with stakeholders, have realized that many provisions in the act are impossible to implement. Okay. Many provisions are impossible to implement, it cannot be implemented. Another example is Indian Public Health System, okay, IPHS. Just इसी के third para में ही, in third para only you can see कि unrealistic healthcare standard. One example was clinical establishment. Second example is Indian Public Health Standard. Indian Public Health Standard is made by government itself, okay, for government hospitals, different levels of government hospitals, okay, primary health care, community health care, okay, tertiary health care, okay. So what they should follow? So this is the rule. Indian Public Health Standard rule is made by government for government hospitals, not private, for government hospitals. And in spite of that, only 15 to 18%, okay, only 15 to 18% of the government primary healthcare facility in India meet the government's own standards. Okay, so that is another challenge. Okay, कि सरकार की जो अपनी इंस्टीट्यूशन है वो ही सरकार का रूल फॉलो नहीं कर पा रही है. ठीक है, तो again that means there is some problem somewhere. Okay, either the government hospitals are not implementing it, take action, or the rules are so strict that it is very difficult to implement. Okay. So this is, so in third para you have two very specific points to take: Clinical Establishment Wala Act and Indian Public Health Standard. Okay. So points like these will increase your marks. हाँ, मतलब हाँ, central government का, but implemented by the state governments. Okay. Now India has a mixed healthcare system. Okay. India has a mixed healthcare system in the sense that there is a mix between private and the public. Okay. In many countries, healthcare is either predominantly private, like say USA. In many countries, healthcare is predominantly government, like in Nordic countries. Okay, so it's mainly government. But in India, we have mix. और mix जो है, private healthcare facility provides delivery nearly 70% of outpatient and 50% of hospital-based service. Okay. Healthcare services जो है, it is of two types. Okay, एक तो हो गया outpatient. You go to hospital, you just, doctor will prescribe you something, you will come back home. And the second is in hospital, that maybe you will have to stay for 1 or 2 days or maybe longer, depending on the circumstances. Okay. So the outpatient service, private care, private provider meets 70% of outpatient and the 50% of hospital-based service. Most of the states such as, this data is used by multiple experts for their own purposes. Like here they are using it to show the importance of private healthcare. Some author or some experts are for, they argue for more regulation. Like this article is for lesser regulation. You will read some article where experts will talk about increasing regulation. Okay. Your job is take 2 points from here, take 2 points from there. You have points to defend that regulation is less. You have point to defend that no regulation is more. Ultimate, and then you write conclusion. Okay. So those author who says कि healthcare is less regulated in India, they say that 70% outpatient is in private and the private is less regulated. Okay. So it's their argument. It's not here in this article, but it's the other side of the argument. Okay. Let's move forward. Okay. टोटल जो इंडिया में आउटपेशेंट पेशेंट्स हैं उसमें 70% प्राइवेट 30% गवर्नमेंट. ये हो गया 50% गवर्नमेंट इन हॉस्पिटल का जो ओके. सो
70% प्राइवेट
नहीं. See, there are two types of hospital service you use: outpatient and inpatient. Outpatient means, let me write here. Okay. Outpatient means what? You are going to hospital, you just visit the doctor, they will write you some prescription, you will come back home. Okay. So that is outpatient. Okay. And this another is in hospital. That the healthcare need is a bit more serious, you will have to stay in hospital. So when we talk about outpatient, private is 70%, okay, 30% government, 70% private. Private में जाते हैं, okay, 30% government में जाते हैं. When we talk about in hospital, when you have where you have to stay in the hospital, there it is 50-50. Okay, 50% private, 50% government. Okay. Okay. So now we are talking about importance of private healthcare in India. So it says that nearly 70% of outpatient and 50% of hospital-based service. States like Maharashtra and Kerala, note example. Okay, This example should be there in your notebook. Okay. States like Maharashtra and Kerala, they are known for their better healthcare services. But the author says that the health indicators are better not because these states have outstanding government facilities, but because the facilities and clinics in private sector are fulfilling the health needs of the people. Okay. So these states are doing good because private healthcare facility is good there. So and the people vote with feet by seeking care at these private health facilities. People vote with feet का मतलब क्या हो गया? People are actually going there. Nobody is forcing people to go to private hospital. Okay. So people are going out of their own free will to private hospitals. Why they are going it? That's because they think if they will go there, काम जल्दी से हो जाएगा. Maybe quality is also good, cleanliness is good. Okay. So these kind of things, they think that it is good. That's why they are going there. Okay. So so this is the importance of private healthcare in India. Okay. You can use that. This phrase, vote with feet, this you can use in writing answers. Okay. So wherever you have to say कि people are showing their preference on their own, you can say they are voting with their feet. ठीक है कि general voting is with the finger, people are voting with their feet कि वो जहाँ जा रहा है, that is showing their preference कि कहाँ जा रहा है. ठीक है. So we have seen कि private healthcare is important. Now author says that, yet, see how author is making the argument. First, author told you that private healthcare is playing a significant role. In fact, it is catering to more number of people than the public healthcare. Yet, when it comes to healthcare regulation, there seems to be unfairness and overzealous attempt to enforce regulation in private sector. Okay. Again, author is telling the counter. Author is saying that generally people think कि private sector जो है वहाँ पर regulation नहीं है. But author says that generally unfairness and overzealous attempt to enforce regulation in private sector. Private sector में government agencies जो है वो private sector में ज़्यादा strictly implement कर रही है. Government hospitals gets a bye-bye. मतलब government hospitals को छूट मिल जाती है. And author is telling you an example. Okay. Author is again, this is use of case. Okay. Case study. Case study is very important when you are making an argument. So if you are making an argument, just अगर आप theory लिख रहे हो, again it does not drive home the point. वो point में weight नहीं आता है. But the moment you add a case, the moment you give an example, okay, article is not visible. Okay, thank you, Ganesh. Okay. Anyway, I'm sure all of you have your article. Okay, so I'm telling you the paragraph number. Okay, second point में ठीक है. Okay, thank you. So keep looking at your article also. Okay. So it says that there was a case in large Delhi. There was a case in 2 large hospitals in India that an infant was not dead, but the hospital doctors pronounced the infant dead. Okay. One case happened in a private large corporate hospital. Another case happened in a famous Delhi hospital, government hospital. Okay. The action taken by authorities in the 2 cases were completely different. So in case of private hospital, this resulted in temporary suspension of license in case of private hospital, while in case of government hospital there was just a setting up of an inquiry committee. Okay. So this is just an example to show, this is just an example to tell you that authorities are biased towards the government hospitals when it comes to implementing the healthcare regulations. Okay. This should not happen because private hospitals are providing more healthcare services. Okay, that is the whole point. Okay. Then last portion of the paragraph, most private nursing homes, yahan wala, okay, most private nursing homes and clinics have often flagged the issue of approvals being delayed by authorities for months, even when these facilities apply for renewal well in advance. Hospitals, they need license to operate, and these licenses need to be renewed at periodic intervals. So many private healthcare facilities, what is one of their complaint is that when they, even if they apply well in advance for renewal of license, normally it does not happen in time. So this talks about bureaucratic hurdle. This talks about red tapeism. Okay, this is about the red tapeism in the healthcare regulation in India. That the government officials are not regulating, not renewing the licenses on time. So this is another thing. Sorry. Okay. So we talked about the private and the problems of private. Then they say affordable care is one need. What one needs is the affordable care. Let's say that you have, let's say there is the best healthcare facility available, but then it is very, very costly. You cannot go there. What is the point? Ultimately, healthcare facility is only as much effective as it is affordable. And we know that the per capita income of India is less. If per capita income of India is less, then you have to think that the healthcare facility should be affordable. So it may not be best in the world, it may be just good enough, but it should be affordable so that people can take use of it. So there has to be a balance between the two. That is the goal. Okay, so balance is very important. तो अगर आप एकदम बोल रहे हैं कि हम एकदम इकोनॉमी इतना अच्छा से पढ़ लेंगे, इतना अच्छा से पढ़ लेंगे, खतरनाक पढ़ लेंगे, और रीड इकोनॉमी और यूपीएससी क्रैक करते करते हम एकदम अभिजीत बनर्जी बन के निकलेंगे. तो आप इकोनॉमी तो बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ लिए, बट आपका एग्जाम नहीं निकला क्योंकि आपका बाकी का चीज चला गया, बाकी के सब्जेक्ट्स पर आप फोकस नहीं कर पाए. सो देयर हैज टू हैव अ बैलेंस in your approach. You can do all other things later, but first have a balance. Okay. So this article says that there should be a balance between quality and affordability. Quality should not be bad, quality should be decent, and then this affordable care. The private sector is also not a homogeneous entity, as there is everything from a single doctor clinic, a small nursing home, medium-sized hospital, corporate hospitals. Okay. When we say private hospital, what do we mean by that? Private hospital is not, मतलब there is a max, okay, बड़ा सा hospital है, chain है all over India, and then there is a small nursing home, there is medium size hospital, and there is single doctor hospitals. So there is different classes among private hospitals as well. Okay. And most of the healthcare services are provided by single doctor clinics. Okay, affordability के नीचे वाला point देखेंगे, and this is one take home message. Okay, this is your one take home message. This is one of the biggest the findings author is talking about in this, that single doctor clinic and small nursing homes are often the first point of contact for access and utilization of health service in India by middle income and low income population. Okay. So that shows the importance of single doctor clinics. They deliver large share of health service at fraction of cost that are big corporate hospitals. Okay. So if you will go to some big corporate hospital for same kind of disease, probably you will get cured in smaller hospitals at lesser price. Okay. That means there is this affordability and inclusivity associated with smaller hospitals. Okay. So this is the role of smaller hospitals in India. Single doctor clinic, okay, same thing. This article, the rest of the article talks about that only. The single doctor hospitals are very, very important for India. Okay. And then now author starts talking about solutions. Okay. Till now we were talking about problems. Ye problem hai, ye problem hai, ye problem hai. Okay. And now author starts talking about the solutions and what are the solutions. Okay. Yeah, this paragraph. Okay. First, ensuring quality of health service is essential and joint responsibility of all stakeholders. That is all right. Okay. Ki quality important hai. No point in saying yes, quality is very important. Okay. But there is a need to formulate guidelines that can be practiced and implemented. Okay. So healthcare regulation must not be unrealistic. Healthcare guidelines should be such that it can be practiced and implemented. This is one. There should be practical regulation. Okay. Second is application need to be disposed in a time-bound manner. See, in exam, what generally if you will see question paper, particularly of social justice wala part, they are talking about what is the problem, what is the status of problem, what is the solution. Yeah, what steps government is taking. Okay? So these 3-4 dimensions are generally asked. Okay? Problem kya hai? We already talked about what is the problem. Okay, what is the extent of problem? Here we do not have much data ka isme zyada nahi tha. Okay, we had only 1 or 2 data. The private sector ka 70% that data. Okay, so that tells you about status. And then what is the solution? You cannot simply start crying. Okay, after crying, you have to give solution. And that solution is, so first you already saw ki regulation must be practical. License must be renewed on time. Second, what is possible for large corporate hospital may not be feasible for small clinics. Okay, that means there should be a differential. There is a need for differential approach for different types of facility. Second wale mein, okay, last line. Second wale mein last line. There is a need for differential approach of different types of facilities. Okay, because what is good or what can be implemented by large corporate hospital may not be implemented by smaller hospitals. So regulation should be different for different types of hospitals. Okay, this. हाँ, दोनों में. So in for government also, like the rules and regulations which will be applied to AIIMS, that cannot be applied to say a primary healthcare facility. They are different. Different kind of patients come there, different kind of facilities. They have different kind of resources there. Okay. So if you will. अलग रेगुलेशन होना चाहिए. हाँ हाँ अलग रेगुलेशन होना चाहिए. तो see, a bare minimum regulation must be there everywhere. That if a patient goes to a hospital, at basic level ki they should be given right medicine. Okay, there should be a basic level of cleanliness. Okay, there should not be infection, basic treatment of medical waste. So these are basic. Otherwise, so why you will go to hospital? If you will go to hospital and you will not get even a minimum level of treatment, you will not go to hospital. Okay, it's better to die at home than to die in a clinic. Okay, so a minimum level must be there, be it any healthcare. But beyond that, so when you like say waiting room space, how much waiting room space is required? Now AIIMS can have a large waiting room space, but you cannot expect a smaller hospital to have similar waiting room space. So that kind of things must be different for different. Okay, Generally what happens, government makes one regulation and implement it, okay, or government make similar, central government makes a rule. So the Bihar government is also expected to apply same rule, Maharashtra government is also expected to apply same rule. But the ground reality of Bihar and Maharashtra is different. So you cannot expect that, okay. Okay. Third, so the first point was that there should be a realistic regulation. Second point, in fact, first का ही दूसरा part था, time bound approval, okay. Then second was differential regulation for different levels of hospital. And the third solution is representatives of doctor association. Third solution is representatives of doctors associations and the type of facilities for which regulations are being formed, as well as community members, should be involved in the process of formulation of such regulations. Means when you are forming a regulation, when government is formulating a regulation, government should not behave like government knows it all, okay. So just because you are an IAS officer, for example, if you are an IAS officer and you are posted in health department, just because you have power, it does not mean that you know everything, okay. So the people at ground or the doctors who are actually working in the hospitals, the community people, they also have some knowledge, okay. So when you are making regulation, ensure participation of all, okay. That is participatory approach to making regulations. This is very important. In fact, ये वाला point जो है, this point that you should increase participation of all, this will be there at everywhere, okay. हर जगह पर आपको ये मिलेगा. You have to increase participation, okay. Just in a while we will talk about it, okay. Because the thing is, local people or those who are actually facing the problems, they have some unique insights which those people who are just sitting in Delhi, they cannot have, okay. उनको पता नहीं चलेगा. आप यहाँ से बोल दोगे कि ये काम कर लो, on ground it's not possible, okay. So you have to take the opinion of everybody, okay. So this is this. And fourth, political loose talk and sensational media headline might worsen the mistrust, okay. So media and the politicians should be careful when they are commenting on any health related crisis. If there is a health related crisis, let experts handle it. If media will try to sensationalize it, then it may lead to a widening of distrust between the public and the doctor, okay. So then the incidents like you must have heard or you must have read in news that many times the relatives of the patients, they start thrashing doctors, ठीक है, doctor को मारने पीटने लगते हैं. So these kind of things happens. Why this happens? Because the trust deficit between the general public and the doctor. So you should not, media should not sensationalize it, okay. That's that. And again, the last point, fifth point is focus on primary care giver, okay. The primary care giver must, the government must focus on them. Who are primary care givers? Mostly they are the smaller nursing homes and single doctor hospitals, okay. So these hospitals, single doctor hospitals, they should be at the focus, okay, because they are primary care giver, okay. So fifth, the most importantly, India needs to promote single doctor clinics, okay. This is very, very important point. So whenever there will be a question that how India can improve its healthcare, instead of writing we should make more tertiary care hospital, we should make more AIMS, it's commonsensical, everybody will write that there should be more AIMS, okay. But more AIMS, it's not practical beyond a certain extent, okay. So AIMS needs lots of doctors, AIMS needs lots of money, all that kind of thing. Okay, so it's not possible for everybody to go to AIIMS. The core of India's healthcare lies in single doctor hospitals and small nursing homes. The moment examiner will see this point in your answer, they will think that you have actually read it. ठीक है, आप ऐसे खुद से सोच के नहीं बोल रहे हो कि सब कुछ जो है वो एकदम सोने की चिड़िया बना दो. ठीक है, that is the easy solution. Anybody can say कि क्या सॉल्यूशन है, इंडिया में ये प्रॉब्लम है, क्या हो जाए, क्या करें, सोने की चिड़िया बना दो, सब कुछ ठीक कर दो, सबका इनकम जो है वो 10 लाख रुपया महीना कर दो. इजी सॉल्यूशन. ओके, बट इज इट पॉसिबल? तो जहां पर पॉसिबल है, डू दैट. ओके, so most importantly, India need to promote single doctor clinics apart from a smaller healthcare facility and nursing homes. Focus should be there. These are what delivers primary care and contributes to keeping the cost of healthcare low. So cost of healthcare is low in these places. And then you can say that India's per capita income is very low. It's only about 2 lakh rupees per year. Okay, so that is per capita. And many people in India are not even earning 6,000, 8,000 rupees per month. So you cannot expect them to go to big hospitals. They will go there. Okay. And every such facility and its doctors need to be supported rather than burdened with excess regulation. Okay. So again, the whole article talks about this one central idea that there is excess regulation. Regulation बहुत ज़्यादा है, इसको control करने की ज़रूरत है. We have to differentiate between large and small. You have to make a regulation like that. Okay, and then let doctors function. Okay, don't make so many rules that doctors will not be able to function. Okay. Of course, the article is written by a doctor. Okay, so this shows you the viewpoint of doctor. There will be other viewpoint also. So when on some other day, when there will be some other article, we will talk about that also. तो वो दूसरा आपको दूसरा point मिल जाएगा. But this is from doctor's perspective. Okay, this perspective is generally missing. Okay, generally what everybody loves to blame the institution. तो hospital का doctor का blaming जो है, इसका point आपको बहुत जगह मिल जाएगा. You can see it in many editorials. But the editorial which shows the other point. Okay, in your answer there should be both points. And now the last paragraph. Last paragraph will teach you how to write conclusion. One way of writing conclusion. In second article we will see there will be a second type of writing conclusion. See how they are concluding it. ठीक है, last वाला. In the fire tragedy in Delhi, you should not just treat the symptom, but also aim to find and eliminate the root cause. Okay, so now they are coming to the solution. In last, whatever solution they have talked till now, everything they are writing it in this small paragraph. Okay. इतने दूर में आपको सारा article का gist मिल जाएगा. Okay, so if you have read the article completely, then when you will read the last paragraph, you will be able to quickly revise it. If you will read it first time, it will be difficult for you to understand. Okay, but now that you have already read the article saying in the fire tragedy in Delhi, you should not just treat the symptom but also aim to find and eliminate the root cause. Okay. This theme of conclusion you can use in many areas. Okay, so whenever there is a problem, आग लगी तो हम लोग आग बुझाने के लिए दौड़ते हैं. ठीक है, so we just start filling buckets with water and start throwing it on that. So we are just dealing with one fire at a time, but maybe there is a bigger problem. So find the root cause. Okay? So yes, what is immediate must be handled now. If there is fire now, you cannot go to room and start reading कि fire क्यों होता है, कैसे solve करें. If there is fire now, just douse the fire. Okay, do that. But don't stop at that. Go into the root problem की actual समस्या क्या था, आग क्यों लगी. तो healthcare related problem, if a child died in a hospital, so yes, action may be taken on the doctor, action may be taken on the hospital, but you should not stop there. You should then think why hospital or the doctor had to do, took action like that. Is there a deeper thing? Okay, because unless a deeper problem will be solved, the same problem will keep on coming. Okay, so this is very, very important. Okay. Okay. It is a reminder of the need to have simplified and implementable regulations. Okay, and then rest all is just हम लोग अभी जो भी पढ़े हैं, ठीक है? It's the same thing. Okay, there is a need for fairness in implementation. Implementation must be fair. Private and government, but there should not be bias. Time-bound decisions must be made. Licenses must be issued in time. Disposal of application of renewal of license. Promoting a smaller healthcare facilities with subsidies. Okay, so if there is a regulation which is very essential, government think that this regulation must be followed by even smaller hospitals. Otherwise, it's dangerous. In that case, government should give subsidy to smaller hospitals. Okay, at least a part of expenditure should be borne by the government. Okay, so that those hospitals can affordably do that. Okay, otherwise they will not be able to maintain it. Either so they will have to close the clinic, or they will have to increase their fees. Okay, or they will just lie. Okay, they will not follow the regulation. Okay. India's healthcare system is already become skewed towards admission-based inpatient service. This is one important thing which is not there in the article. ये यहाँ पर conclusion में बोल रहा है कि India's healthcare system is mainly about slowly we are moving towards inpatient service. Means the moment you will go to hospital, they will tell you कि 2 दिन रहना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? So this is dangerous because it increases cost of visiting the hospital. It increases healthcare cost. So author says that we should move away from inpatient healthcare service to outpatient service. As far as possible, the patient should be able to return home same day. Okay, जहाँ पर possible नहीं है, operation होना है, चोट लगा हुआ है, that's different. Okay, when it's not possible, it's different. But whenever it is possible, healthcare must move from inpatient to outpatient, because it leads to deliver outpatient at lower cost, because this reduces the cost of providing the services. Okay, this would contribute to the goal of National Health Policy 2017. Okay, policies are important. Okay, be it National Health Policy, National Education Policy we saw yesterday. Okay, so these important policies, policy and what it said, just one line. Okay, that will again help you gain credibility. See, you can write that healthcare should be people-centric, healthcare should be accessible to everybody, healthcare should be available, affordable, quality. Okay, so this तो even you and I can say कि healthcare जो है वो जनता का centric होना चाहिए, affordable होना चाहिए, सस्ता होना चाहिए. Okay, healthcare should be of high quality. Okay, everybody can write. But the moment you write in your copy that National Health Policy 2017 says this, the weight increases. Okay, the examiner will think that okay, you have seen the policy, you have the idea that there is a policy in place. So this is very important. And again, that this requires health sector drafted from bottom up to. Okay, and then says that all this thing will happen only when healthcare regulation will happen from the bottom up approach. Okay, there should be participation of people. It should not be, healthcare regulation should not be a top down approach. Okay. Anybody can say what is the difference between top down approach and bottom up approach? Right, in general, health in healthcare, yes, participation of doctor. Right. In general, see the title of this is health regulation need a base to top approach. Health regulation need a base to top approach. What do we mean by base to top approach? Okay, this is bottom up. Okay, iska other name is bottom up approach. Bottom up approach is a very important approach. You will see Niti Aayog works on bottom up approach. Okay, our 73rd, 74th Amendment Act, Panchayat, okay, that acts on works on bottom up approach. So what is bottom up approach and what is the benefit of bottom up approach? This can be asked even as a stand-alone question. Okay, right, Ganesh, you are right, right? Starting from the grassroots and then moving to the top. Okay, so just write in your notes. Meaning of base to top approach or bottom up approach. Take note. Okay, writing in your notes is very important because otherwise you will understand everything now, and when after 2 months you will again have to think on this, आप भूल गए रहोगे, आपको हल्का हल्का आपको आइडिया आएगा कि हाँ कुछ तो सुने थे, but exact points you will miss. Okay? So that's why you must make notes. मतलब non-negotiable है, ठीक है? Yes, at times you will see some toppers saying that मैं कभी notes नहीं बनाया, मेरा ऐसे ही हो गया. Okay, yes, there are 1 or 2 people. Okay, so maybe they are saying truth, maybe somebody they are not even telling truth, but the reality is that if you make note, your chances increases. That's basic. Okay, in general everybody says same thing. Okay, meaning of base to top approach or bottom up approach. Okay, first point, method of decision making and policy formulation that starts at grassroots. Point number 1, bottom up ka method of decision making and policy formulation that starts at grassroots and progresses upward. Second point, emphasize involvement of individuals and local communities. Emphasize involvement and empowerment लिख लीजिए. Okay, emphasize involvement and empowerment of individuals and local communities. Third point, it provides contextual solution. Contextual solution का मतलब क्या होता है कि a solution which is for a particular problem. Okay, so like there is for example there is this problem of connectivity. Okay, there is no connectivity. For example, somebody may say कि no connectivity means what? Airport बना दो, ठीक है, connectivity बढ़ जाएगी. Okay, so this is generic solution. But then when somebody says अरे भैया airport कैसे बना दो? Okay, वहाँ पर there is no that much demand. Okay, so then maybe railway line बना दो या road का condition अच्छा कर दो. This is called contextual solution. That solution is fit for a particular instance. There should not be one size fit solution. You have made a solution and then same chal raha hai. That should not be there. Okay. So contextual solution, you can write it. Contextual solution means tailored for TAILORED, tailored for a specific situation, tailored for a specific local situation. TAILORED, दर्जी जो टेलर होता है, टेलर बनाना हो गया. Okay, हाँ. So contextual solution tailored for a specific local condition. Okay, and the last point, feedback mechanism. Bottom to top there should be always feedback. So if there is something happening at ground level, the people who are sitting at top level, they should know that there is some problem. Okay, so that a solution can be found by participation. So that is the meaning of bottom up approach. Okay, and then you can write advantages of bottom up approach. Okay, the second, advantages of bottom up approach. हाँ, बॉटम अप, ठीक है, और बेस टू टॉप जैसे बोल रहे, ओके, बॉटम अप अप्रोच नीचे से ऊपर, ओके, एडवांटेज है, ठीक है। तो अभी तक हम टिल नाउ वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट मीनिंग, नाउ वी आर मूविंग टू एडवांटेजेस। एडवांटेज पॉइंट 1, empowered communities. Empowered communities. Okay, so when community thinks that they are contributing in decision making, they feel empowered. Okay, so at panchayati raj level you will see that the people feel ki okay mere vote se kuch hua, okay, yeah, I told to make road and then it happened, okay, people feel empowered, so that's one, okay. Second, solution tailored toward specific needs, आप लिख लीजिए, again वो repeat है, solution tailored to a specific need. Third point, enhanced sustainability. Enhanced sustainability because of use of local knowledge. Enhanced sustainability because of use of local knowledge, resources and social structure. Because of use of local knowledge, resources and social structure. Okay, so when you use bottom up approach, it becomes more sustainable. For example, let's say resources, let's say that you are making a house, okay, let's say Taj Mahal was built. For Taj Mahal they bought a stone from say Rajasthan, okay, but Shah Jahan was king, so that was possible for him. If you will start bringing building material from Rajasthan to do this, maybe that won't be possible for you, that won't be sustainable. So maybe rich people will be able to do it, but the poor people will be able to make their home only if the building material is locally available. Okay. So this is again the use of this. Okay, and the social structure. Okay, the social structure of the place, that must be taken into account. Okay, resources and social structure. Yes, right. And last point, advantage of base to top approach. Last point, increased accountability. Increased accountability when communities are directly involved in decision making. Increased accountability when communities are directly involved in decision making. So when you think that you are involved, you decided that plant should be planted here, then probably you will always keep looking at it. I told Panchayat to plant trees here, whether it happened or not. So you will keep poking there. You will keep going to Panchayat office. भाई लगा कि नहीं, क्यों नहीं लगा? जो लगा था पेड़ मर गया, क्या हो गया? फिर से लगाओ. Okay. So that way, at the ground level, accountability improves. Okay. The people sitting in Delhi, they cannot always ensure that the work is being done at the ground level. Only when the communities are empowered, only when they are making the decisions, ultimately things will happen. Okay, so this is about bottom-up approach meaning. Okay. Now the second point, second theme है इसका लिखने वाला अभी का, तो ये bottom-up का था. Challenges related to health regulation in India. Okay, we'll be quick. Okay, write quickly. We have to see one more article. Okay, that is short article. Okay. Challenges related to healthcare regulation in India. Challenges related to healthcare regulation in India. So here we will be quick because we have already seen all the challenges related to healthcare regulation. First, problem of excess regulation. Problem of excessive regulation. Excess or excessive. Problem of excessive regulation. Some states have over 50 approvals under multiple regulations. Some states have over 50 regulations. Some states have over 50 approvals under multiple regulations to be followed by all healthcare facilities. Second point, unrealistic healthcare quality standards. Unrealistic healthcare quality standards. Okay, which are ultimately not adopted because of constraints like finances and availability of qualified staff. Not adopted because of constraints like availability of finances and qualified staff. आप बोल रहे हो कि हर हॉस्पिटल में 2 डॉक्टर होना चाहिए, इंडिया में जो है वो डॉक्टर पॉपुलेशन रेशियो इतना कम है, कहाँ से आएगा? तो वो आएगा ही नहीं, ठीक है, that is not possible. Then what will happen? Quacks will come, those who do not have medical degree, so they will come and treat people. Okay, so that's that. इसी में सेकेंड वाले पॉइंट में, अनरियलिस्टिक वाले में, फॉर एग्जाम्पल क्लिनिकल एस्टेब्लिशमेंट रजिस्ट्रेशन एंड रेगुलेशन एक्ट 2010, okay, has not been yet adopted by many states. Has not yet been adopted by many states. Second example, Indian public health standards. Less than 20% of the government primary health care facility, less than 20% of the government's own primary health care facility implements it. Okay, ठीक है. Third point, this was second point, challenge का second point था. Third point, attempt to enforce regulation more strictly in private sector hospitals. Attempt to enforce regulations more strictly in private hospitals in comparison to government hospitals. Okay, in comparison to government hospitals. Clear? This leads to increase in cost of healthcare. Last point, delay in renewal of license. Okay. Now, solutions proposed. What are the proposed solutions? Healthcare regulations should be more realistic. Healthcare regulations should be more realistic guidelines which can actually be implemented in context of India. Okay, healthcare regulations should be more realistic guidelines which can actually be implemented in context of India. Second, application process for license must be simplified. Application process for license must be simplified and disposed of in a time-bound manner. Third, need of differential approach for different types of facilities, like a smaller one doctor clinic and big corporate hospitals. Okay, that's the differential. Next point, government should consider subsidizing a part of cost required to adhere to basic regulations. Government should consider subsidizing a part of cost required to adhere to basic regulation by smaller facilities. Next point, representatives of doctors and local communities must be involved in formation of regulations. Okay, so doctors and local communities must be involved in formulation of regulation. Okay. Next point, India need to promote single doctor clinic. Apart from smaller healthcare facilities. Okay. Okay, clear? So, okay, I think we have. Okay, in this point only, you can write in bracket, because they deliver primary care at affordable cost. Because in bracket you can write, because they deliver primary care at affordable cost. last point, need to move from admission based inpatient service, need to move from admission based inpatient service to outpatient service at lower cost. Okay, so this was about healthcare. Now we will have a look at one more article, and that is the first article there, challenge for farm sector. Okay, challenge for farm sector, how to share growth gains. Okay, so here see, in this you do not need much background information here. This is relatively easy to understand article. Okay, and this was in Indian Express. Okay, 4th of June. So in this article you already know that the real income of farmers in India has stagnant. Okay, either for a small farmer it has even reduced. Okay, it has not increased meaningfully for others. Okay, so farm income is a big problem in India. Always you will have a discussion. Okay, you will keep on looking at articles related to it. Okay, question bhi pucha chuka hai. So farm income. Now the author talks about why it is the case. Okay, so what are some of the fundamental problems related to farming in India? Okay, and then the solutions. Okay, mainly author talks about two kind of problems. First, author talks about problems which are big problems and probably no easy solution is available. Matlab, like say climate change. So because of climate change, the agricultural productivity in India is declining. Okay, but then no quick solution or no easy solution is available for that. Similarly, there are challenges related to World Trade Organizations. Okay, how WTO unfairly treats developing countries. Okay, how dispute redressal mechanism in WTO is not allowed to operate by USA by not appointing members. Okay, so these are some of the big problems which are probably finding solution to that is difficult. Okay, you cannot change it, or the government of India alone cannot change it. Okay, but then in second part, author talks about some of the things, some of the problems which can be addressed if there is a political will in India. Okay, so two type of problems. Some problem which are big, but probably no easy solution is available. Second part of problem, solution is available and it can be implemented if political will is there. Okay, so both type of problems we'll see. Okay, and then we will just write it. ठीक है, तो अगर आपका ये हो जाएगा तो आपका फार्म सेक्टर का बहुत सारा प्रॉब्लम्स जो है यहाँ पर मिल जाएगा. I've read the article. Okay, so many important problems of farm sector is already there, and it is there, and this one is GS paper 2. Okay, GS paper 2 you will see कि agriculture का अलग से topic है. ठीक है, the farming का अलग से वहाँ पर GS paper 2 में topic है. Okay, तो उसके अंदर में ये आ जाएगा. ठीक है, तो you can file it there. Okay, yes Ganesh, you are right. Blue box subsidies, yes, will not go into that detail today, but yes, you are right. Challenges for farm sector, how to share growth gain, grain. Okay. And this was 4th June, Indian Express. As India traverses the road to Amritkal, the agriculture sector's journey will be difficult and filled with challenges. Okay. So in first, the author is just setting the tone. कि बता रहे हैं कि भैया बहुत समस्या है, आने वाले टाइम में प्रॉब्लम्स आने वाले हैं, it's going to come, problems are only going to increase. Okay, so he simply says that policy makers have failed to ensure dignified livelihood for farmers. Okay, you can see how to start. Again, in mains answer you will not have this many words to write introduction. Okay, in mains I think this is at least I think 60 words से कम नहीं होगा इसका फर्स्ट पारा जो है. In mains you have to write answer in 150 word 10 marks वाले का, okay, and 250 words 115 marks वाले का. So in 150 word you can hardly have 25-30 words for introduction, because then you will have to write conclusion, okay, तो 25-50 हो गया. 100 words you have for main body, okay. So you have to learn how to write concisely, how to write more in a small words, in less number of words, okay. And their importance of data, importance of knowing the exact term, importance of using the report, that becomes very important. कि आप कम में ज़्यादा कैसे लिख सकते हो, okay? क्योंकि स्पेस ज़्यादा है नहीं, तो उस हिसाब से ये बड़ा इंट्रोडक्शन है. Anyway, policy makers have failed to ensure dignified livelihood for farmers. We are confronted by certain set of circumstances, changing which may be beyond our ability. Okay, so author says that there are some circumstances related to agriculture which may be beyond our ability. When author says our means country level. Okay, so it may not be very easy to handle that, because probably they are global. ठीक है, तो वो दुनिया भर में चल रहा है. 1, the climate is changing irreversibly for the worse. ठीक है, the effect of climate change is there, and because of climate change productivity of agriculture is declining. Okay, the extreme event is happening, either the rainfall, copious amount of rainfall in wrong time, okay, just before harvest there is rainfall, okay, and excessive rainfall, or there is extreme drought, okay, or it's like one part of India is in flood and the other part of India is just dealing with water crisis, okay. So these kind of things, heat waves are happening, okay. So the climate change is a reality. So more than from pre-industrial level, if you will see, more than 1.5 degree, no sorry, not 1.5, 1 degree, more than 1 degree centigrade temperature have already increased from pre-industrial level, okay. So climate change is a reality, its effect is a reality, okay. We are already witnessing the beginning of erratic climatic events impacting crop production and livelihood. Okay. तो इसमें author is saying कि we alone cannot do everything. हमारे हाथ में we can do only so much. There is global initiatives है. So yes, we will try to ensure that climate change can be reversed. We will try to ensure that we take adaptive actions. Okay, but there is a limitation. So this is problem number 1. Problem number 2. The World Trade Organization will not change, so we have to accept that. Okay, and we have to live with this inquisitiveness, okay, inquisitiousness. For many years, US has deliberately crippled the dispute settlement mechanism. Actually, in WTO, what happens, there is a dispute settlement body of WTO. It needs a certain minimum number of members to function. We call it quorum. Okay, so unless there is a quorum, the dispute settlement body cannot take any decision. Now the appointment of the members to dispute settlement body cannot happen without the vote of USA, okay, because they have large number of votes here. Okay. So without them, because in WTO decision is mainly taken by consensus. If somebody will oppose it, decision cannot be taken. USA have been stopping the appointment of members to dispute settlement body. Because of that, dispute settlement body is non-functional. Okay, so the problems related to WTO will remain there. We cannot do anything. Okay, at least yes. So problem number 3. Okay, here problem number 3. Large number of small land holdings. Okay, fundamentally limits the scope of primary producer to eke out a life of dignity from their possession. One of the big problems of agriculture in India is, one, large number of small and marginal farmers. Okay? More than 86%, 85%, let's say, more than 85% of farmers as of 25-26 last agriculture census was in 25-26. हाँ, last agriculture census was in 25-26. क्या बोल रहे? 2015-16. ठीक है? Okay, 2015-16. Okay, हाँ. So yeah, in flow I was just traveling, time traveling. Okay, so in 2015-16 last agriculture census happened. Okay, and according to that, more than 85% of farmers in India are small and marginal. So small farmers means those who have less than 2 hectares of land. Okay, marginal means those who have less than 1 hectare of land. Okay, so small and marginal farmers are more, that is one. And the second point is, because of more number of small and marginal farmers, more than 85% of the land in India, large number of small land holdings, 85%, more than 85% of land holdings in India is a small. Okay, a small land holdings means it is not possible for farmers to make out their living from that land. ठीक है, अब किसी का 1 हेक्टेयर का लैंड है. Okay, average size of land holding in India is approximately 1 hectare, 1 point something, probably 1.05 या कुछ ऐसे ही है. ठीक है, average size of land holding in India is only that much, around 1 hectare. It is not possible for a farmer to make living by farming at only that much land. ठीक है, उससे उसका परिवार नहीं चलेगा. ठीक है, लीव अलोन रिस्क मैनेजमेंट और बाकी चीज, उसका बेसिक खर्चा भी नहीं निकलेगा, घर परिवार नहीं चलेगा. सो दिस इज, बट अगेन दिस इज अंडर द सर्कमस्टेंसेस which is beyond our ability. Like we cannot change it quickly. If there is 85%, more than 85% small and marginal farmers, if size of land holding in India is about 1 hectare, the government cannot quickly change it. वो जो है वो है. It will take decades to change. Even if it will happen, it will take decades. Okay. But anyway, this is the problem. Third problem, number 3. Problem number 4. The global priority. Problem number 4. The global priority to ensure low food price for consumer is easiest achieved by artificially driving down farm gate price. What is farm gate price? Anybody will say? What do you mean by farm gate price? Farm gate price का क्या मतलब हो गया? मतलब हाँ, that's what the author is trying to say. Right? So a farm gate price means the money farmer is getting for their produce. That is farm gate price. See, in any production process, there are 2 types of stakeholders. One are producer, another is consumer. Okay. With agriculture, one of the historical problem in India and also globally is governments try to protect interest of consumers more. Government try to ensure that food prices remain low. Okay. But in that quest, in the attempt to cool down the agricultural products prices, farmers are denied the chance to reap the benefit. So the farm income is reduced. One reason is this, that governments world over favors consumers more than the farmers. Okay. For example, I think last week or last to last week, we talked about one thing, that export ban. Okay, export ban of wheat, export ban of onion, export ban of potato. These things happens. Okay. Similarly, zero import duty. That if India starts facing food inflation, then government allows for zero import duty. Means the foreign producers, they can come to India and they can sell product without paying import duty. What does it mean? The competition for Indian farmers will increase, right? So when prices was increasing in India, probably Indian farmers would have benefited. But because of these things, they are not getting the benefit, right? So this is again fourth. the global priority to ensure low food price. But again, the author is saying that this is global phenomena. Okay, so we can do only so much. 5th point, depleting aquifers due to insatiable demand for water for agriculture is reaching a threshold point, okay, where it won't be economically viable to extract water for irrigation in food basket. So increasing extraction of, means lowering of groundwater level is becoming a major problem. Okay, groundwater level is going down, and because of that, farming is getting affected. Now, if farmers want to extract water from underground, they will have to spend more money. They will have to bore deeper wells, okay, and they will have to frequently change position of the well because the groundwater level is continuously going down. So this again is a big problem, okay, because of which the farmers are suffering. And then here they have not given any data. Okay, while dictating, I will dictate you. One of the data is that two-third of districts of India is threatened by falling groundwater. Okay, this is World Bank का data. ठीक है, कि India का 2 out of every 3 district in India is facing this groundwater wala problem. Okay, so this is a big problem. And then there is this Niti Aayog ka report कि more than 40% fresh water supply जो है वो कम होने वाला है. Okay, by 2030. Okay, by 2030. Okay. So these are some of the major problems which we are staring at. Okay. Drinking water is already becoming a sought after monetized community. Okay. So drinking water, there was a time when it was unthinkable that you will buy drinking water. Okay. Now it is normal, particularly in urban areas. Okay. So this is again going to increase only. Okay. Again, we have a World Bank report which says that more than 160 million people of India are facing this water stress. Okay. So these are the problems which again ultimately influences farmers as well. Okay. Then first, second, third, fourth para, come to fourth para. Okay. While these greatly limit our ability to pursue our chosen path, other things can change provided there is will. Author says that these are some of the big problems. The problems which we talked just now are some of the big problems. But still, there are some other challenges which can be more easily solved. Okay? It does not mean that government should not try to solve the problems which we talked about now. Government should try to increase groundwater level. Government should try to solve problem in WTO. Government should try to deal with climate change. But whatever problems author is talking now, saying that these are the low-hanging fruits. Okay? You can deal with it more easily. And what are those? Okay. And the first is investment in agriculture research and extension service have stayed below the level of inflation. Okay. Agriculture research and extension service. See, productivity of agriculture will increase how? You already know that technology plays an important role in increasing the productivity. Not only in agriculture में भी और किसी भी economic activity में technology helps. If you have iPad and if you are using it in the right manner, it will increase your productivity. If you are a student or if you are, say, a software engineer, okay, then just a desktop जिसमें आप एक बार click करते हो, 2 मिनट wait करते हो, कुछ होगा, ठीक है? So technology helps. So and from where technology will come? Technology will come from investment in agriculture research. So there are 2 points, agriculture research, and then fruits of that research should come to farmer. Okay. So research is done in agricultural university, and from there fruits of the research should reach to the farmer. So there is research infrastructure and then there is extension service. Agricultural extension service means that service which transfers technology from agricultural universities to the farmer. That is called extension service. Okay, so like Krishi Vigyan Kendras and other things. So these are extension services. Okay. So it is a proven fact. Author says that every rupee invested in agriculture research yield economic return upward of 10 times over other investment. Means if you will invest rupee 1 in agriculture research, you will gain 10 rupees as a return. 10 guna return, 10 times return you will get. Okay. But even then, the investment in agriculture research and investment in these things are coming down. So that is it has reduced in real term. This shows misplaced priority of the government. Government is spending money in giving freebies instead of investing money in agriculture research. Okay, government is investing money in giving free electricity or free fertilizers. Okay, instead of, if government will invest money in research, it will lead to, like say nano urea came. Okay? That nano urea was the result of research. Now nano urea will reduce the cost of farming greatly. Okay, so this is one area which author says that is the low hanging fruit. Invest there, invest in agriculture research and extension service. This is a रनिंग थीम, मतलब एकदम बार बार आपको ये थीम मिलेगा कि सरकार का प्रायोरिटी मिसप्लेस्ड है, इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रायोरिटी. ओके, हाँ ये सॉल्यूशन है कि मतलब प्रॉब्लम ये है कि गवर्नमेंट इज नॉट स्पेंडिंग इनफ, उसका सॉल्यूशन है. ओके, सेकंड यहां पर सीट हियर, free or unrealistically low prices at which cereals are distributed throughout the public distribution system continues to drive down farm gate prices such that primary production remains unviable and unviable profession. One of the thing is that when you are, or when government is providing food grains at such a low price, public distribution system, to about 66% of the population, okay, at 1 rupee kg, 2 rupee kg, 3 rupee kg, okay, at that price when you are providing it, that is distorting the market of the farmers. Okay, it does not mean that you should not provide food. Maybe you provide it, but not to 66%. Okay, if 66% of people of India needs 1 rupee kg rice, that means we are in deep problem. Okay, and probably that is not required. So many committees have said that you cap it to say 40%, yeah 30%, you give it to 30%. And the second, many committees says that increase prices. Okay. When National this National Food Security Act was passed, it is written in law itself, it is written in National Food Security Act itself that this 1 rupee price, slowly it will increase with inflation. As inflation will increase, government will revise prices. But this price has never been revised. So since that time, since the passage of the bill, the price, the PDS price remains same. Okay, so for more than 10 years, the price is same. And this is distorting the market for the farmers. That means the farmers are not getting adequate price for their product because people are getting it at so low price from the government. Okay, so this is one aspect. Okay, so whenever you are talking, this is about farm sector. One of the topics which is exactly mentioned in the syllabus is public distribution system. ठीक है, PDS. आप GS3 में देखेंगे, in GS3 you will see PDS. Okay, in PDS also they will say reform. PDS challenges and reform. Okay, so one of the reforms which has been recommended by various committees is this. reduce the population percentage you are giving it, and increase the prices. Okay, increase the prices does not mean you sell it 60 rupees kg rice. Okay, but at least make it 5 rupees kg, 10 rupees kg. Okay, so with the inflation it should increase. Okay, so that is that. So so this is another problem, and the solution that government should revise it. Okay. Then problem number 3, input subsidies like a skewed fertilizer subsidy leads to indiscriminate use of fertilizers. Last point of this page. Okay, last point of this page. Okay. Input subsidies like the skewed fertilizer subsidy leads to indiscriminate use of fertilizer, impacting the health of the people and the planet. Okay. So this is again another big problem. Okay. Government is giving subsidy like electricity subsidy or fertilizer subsidy. Government is thinking that they are helping farmers. Okay, they are helping farmer reduce the input cost. Okay, because farmers are poor, government is helping it. Okay, so intent is fine, but the problem is, if you will not make farmers aware, if they do not have to pay the price, then they are overusing it. Okay, so farmers are overusing the water, which is leading to increase in salinity of the soil, which is leading to reduction in fertility of the soil. Okay. Similarly, government is giving free fertilizers, and that means what? Free fertilizers means, like say, price of urea is very controlled. Okay. So price of other fertilizers is not controlled by the government, but the price of urea is controlled by the government. That means what happens? The farmers are using urea more. So maybe urea is to fulfill the nitrogen deficiency, but maybe the nitrogen, the land of the farmer is deficient in phosphorus, but the farmer is using urea. Why? Because it is cheap. सस्ता मिल रहा है तो fertilizer है use करो. ठीक है. So this is the problem. This again is leading to loss of fertility of the soil, and it is not helping either. Okay. So these subsidy schemes should be improved. Okay. Input subsidy like a skewed fertilizer subsidy leads to indiscriminate use of fertilizer, impacting the health of the people and the planet. Okay. I'm just reminding you that currently we are reading the problems which author thinks that can be easily addressed by the government if there is a political will. Okay. Another problem author talks about is the high level of public debt. Okay, the general government debt, central government and state government combined debt level is very high in India. Okay. More than 80% it is. Okay, combined debt of more than 80% of GDP. Okay, so combined public debt of India is more than 80% of GDP. Okay. Now what is the problem? Problem is, once debt level is this high, government already do not have money. Now how government can then borrow more and spend on widening agriculture infrastructure? When we say government should spend on agriculture research, when we say government should spend on building irrigation infrastructure, these all things needs money. From where that money will come? Government is already in public debt, high public debt, more than 80% of GDP. Okay, and why it is so? It is so because government is giving many freebies. Okay, so that is one of the things. This is example of misplaced priority. You are giving, you are spending money, पैसा खर्च हो ही रहा है, but you are not spending it at the right place. So it is not going to give you right returns. Okay, so public debt both at central and state level leaves less financial flexibility to plan for long term and does not allow for endless further subsidies. Okay. Lastly and most importantly, inept governance and lack of accountability in ministries managing the agriculture at the center and the state is not primarily due to incompetence but due to attitude at the top. Now again, they are saying that one of the big problem is in top level of the government, saying that it's not that the people who are sitting at top level of the government, they are not incompetent. This is the problem of attitude, according to the author, that those people who are sitting at the top, they think they know it all. Okay, they don't have to ask the other peoples, they know everything. Okay, about agriculture, they know everything. Okay, so this is the problem of attitude. Okay, this also can be changed if there is a will. Okay, so that's that. And then author says that the key challenge is not just to improve agriculture productivity, which is simply more output from a given level of input, but to ensure that productivity gain can be sustained and are broadly shared, and the growth is inclusive. Ultimately, author says that increasing productivity means what? Increasing productivity means, like say, more kg or more ton of crop from given land, per hectare more produce, yeah, per liter of water more produce. These things means increasing agricultural productivity. It is very important. We have to increase agricultural productivity because we have limited land, our population is increasing, groundwater level is going down. So yes, we have to increase agricultural productivity, but that is not enough. We have to ensure that productivity increase is sustainable. Okay, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि आपने कुछ स्टेप लिया, वो एकदम से इंक्रीज हुआ and after 2 years back it came down. It must be sustained. Okay, so there must be change in policy which can make it sustainable, and then it must be एक तो sustained है and that must be inclusive. Okay, many agricultural policies are such that it helps larger farmers more. For example, loan waiver. Okay, so whenever a government promises loan waiving, they waive off loan. Whom does it benefit? A small and marginal farmers, they are not getting loan at the first place. Okay, many tenant farmers, they do not have the land rights, they do not have the documents, property rights in their name, so they are not getting loan. Okay, so mainly bigger farmers, medium and large farmers, they are getting loan. So when you are waiving off loan, you are saying that you are helping poor farmer, but actually poor farmer are not even getting loan. Okay, so you have to ensure that the agricultural growth, this productivity growth is inclusive. Okay, that it is helping everybody. Okay, it is helping rich farmer, bigger farmer. It should help smaller and marginal farmers. So everybody should get the benefit. This is a basic funda. Okay, and the last note the conclusion of this article. It's a very, very interesting conclusion this article have, because here they are here they are ending it with a warning. We saw last वाला, इससे पहले वाला आर्टिकल का जो conclusion था, that was recommendation वाला, ये कर लो, ये कर लो, ये कर लो, वैसा वाला conclusion था. That is one way of concluding. Okay, ये कर लो वाला. And this one is warning वाला कि भैया नहीं करोगे तो फिर टाइम खराब आने वाला है. ठीक है, so this conclusion is, okay, a mere tinkering of the framework will not be suffice, and if nothing were to fundamentally change, including the process of framing policies, we may find ourselves chasing chimera and living our nightmares. ठीक है, कि हमारा जो सबसे बुरा सपना है वो सच हो जाएगा अगर हम अभी फंडामेंटल लेवल पर चेंज नहीं करते हैं. ऑथर सेइंग कि थोड़ा बहुत पॉलिसी में बस ऐसा ऑप्टिक्स के लिए चेंज करने से काम नहीं चलेगा. वी हैव टू मेक बिग स्केल चेंजेस, अदरवाइज इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू हैपन, अदरवाइज वी विल फेस दिस. ठीक है, सो इन दीज टू आर्टिकल्स यू हैव सीन different styles of concluding. So whenever you are writing answer next time, try to use it. ठीक है, slowly you will develop your own style कि कैसे conclude करते हैं. किसी वाले में ऐसे conclude करना है, किसी में ऐसे conclude करना है. Much more styles you can see. Okay. चिमेरा चिमेरा जो है वो एक मिथिकल तो नहीं कह सकते, क्या कहा जाए, दो स्पीसीज का मिला हुआ एनिमल होता है, ठीक है। तो इट्स लाइक कि आप पीछे भाग रहे हो किसी चीज़ के, ठीक है, तो कुछ होने वाला नहीं है, ठीक है। तो अगर आप थोड़ा बहुत चेंज करोगे पॉलिसी में तो उससे आप का कुछ होगा नहीं, दैट इज द ये एंड लिविंग आवर नाइटमेयर्स, ठीक है। ओके, नाउ द आफ्टर रीडिंग दिस आर्टिकल शुड बी what are the challenges related to farm sectors in India. Now this should be in your notes, okay. Challenges related to farm sectors in India, okay, you can write, okay. Challenges related to farm sectors in India. Okay, so take note, will be quick, ठीक है, थोड़ा सा बचा है. And again, slowly we have to increase, we have to learn how to be more patient, okay. So unless we'll be more patient, it's going to be a difficult ride, because you have decided to prepare for a rather difficult exam, okay. So बस if you just think कि quickly जल्दी हो जाए तो फिर वो दिक्कत है, ठीक है. Okay, challenges facing farm sector, you can write point A, difficult challenges which will need global support. Difficult challenges which will need global support. Within that, point number 1, climate change. Climate change leading to erratic climatic events. Climate change leading to erratic climatic events and reduced crop production. In bracket you can write already more than 1 degree C temperature rise from pre-industrial level. Already more than 1 degree C temperature rise from the pre-industrial level. Okay. Second, dysfunctional WTO system. Dysfunctional WTO system, okay, which is biased towards needs of developed economies. Dysfunctional WTO system which is biased towards needs of developed economies. In bracket you can write problematic dispute settlement system, comma, agricultural subsidies, agriculture subsidy box, ठीक है. Dispute settlement system. Another हो गया. Okay, ठीक है. अगला वाला पॉइंट क्या था? Anybody will remind me? Okay, बोलिए, यहाँ लिखा हुआ नहीं है. हाँ, डिप्लोमा. Okay, agricultural subsidy boxes. Yes. Ganesh, thank you. Agriculture. नहीं. इससे पहले जो हम लोग, जैसे ये वो एक प्रॉब्लम है WTO रिलेटेड, ठीक है, कि WTO जिस तरह से रूल्स बनाती है जो कि एग्रीकल्चरल ट्रेड को कंट्रोल करती है, दैट रूल हैज बायस, दैट रूल फेयर्स डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज. When we'll read about WTO, okay, then we'll get into more detail of that. Okay, but WTO promotes that kind of subsidies which are given by developed countries, and they call it green box subsidy. And the WTO says that when Indian government is helping Indian farmers, WTO says that that is wrong kind of subsidy. They say that this is blue box subsidy, you should not give it. Okay, so things like that. So, हाँ, right. Third point, large number of small land holding. in bracket more than 85% of India's total arable land. India's more than 85% of arable land, comma, more than 85% of the farmers of India are small and marginal. More than 85% of the farmers of India are small and marginal. Okay. Fourth point, global agricultural policies favors consumers at the cost of producer, that is farmer. Global agricultural policies, yeah, agriculture, leave it, okay. Global policies favor agricultural consumers at the cost of producers, that is farmer. Okay? Farmer. This leads to reduced farm gate price. This leads to reduced farm gate price. Okay. And fifth point, reducing groundwater level. Fifth point, reducing groundwater level. In bracket you can write 2/3 of districts of India. 2/3 of districts of India are threatened by falling groundwater level. Are threatened by falling groundwater level. This is by World Bank. Okay. World Bank. Okay. So till now you were writing those points which needs global effort to solve. Okay. Now second type of points, low hanging fruits. Second point, low hanging solutions to India's agricultural problems. Low hanging solutions to India's agricultural problems. Okay, point number 1, low hanging solutions. Increasing investment in agriculture research and extension service. Increasing investment in agriculture research and extension service. In bracket, every 1 rupee invested in agriculture research, gives 10 rupees return. That shows multiplier effect. ठीक है कि कितना बदल जा रहा है. Return. Okay. Second, public distribution system should be reformed. Public distribution system should be reformed by reducing the percentage of people getting subsidized, food, reducing percentage of people getting subsidized food, and increasing the price at which they are getting the food. So central issue price भी कहते हैं. In bracket you can write central issue price at which people are getting the subsidized food. In bracket you can write central issue price. ठीक है, तो वहां पर उसको आप बढ़ाओगे, then only the demand for the farmers product will increase, or else तो डिमांड ही नहीं है. वहां तो फार्मर से गवर्नमेंट एमएसपी पढ़ लिया और यहाँ पे आके दे दिया, तो एमएसपी से ऊपर फार्मर का रेट कैसे बढ़ेगा? अनलेस देयर इज अ मार्केट, अनलेस पीपल आर गोइंग टू बाय, तो वो नहीं बढ़ेगा. ठीक है, तो ये दिस इज फंडामेंटल डिबेट अब चलता रहता है कि किसका इंटरेस्ट ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. ओके, बट when you are writing for farmer point, this is the point. Okay, and rationalizing fertilizer and electricity subsidies. which is leading to misuse, rationalizing fertilizer and electricity subsidy, which is leading to misuse and unsustainable behavior. Okay. Next point, prudently managing public debt of India. Prudently, P-R-U-D-E-N-T-L-Y. Prudently managing public debt of India. In bracket, you can write, which is currently more than 80% of the GDP. Which is currently more than 80% of the GDP. Okay. This will give government more leg space to increase investment in agricultural infrastructure. Okay. This will give government more leg space, मतलब पैर फैलाने का जगह देगा. This will give government more leg space to increase investment in agricultural infrastructure. And last point, increasing accountability of authorities responsible for setting and implementing agricultural policies. Increasing accountability of authorities responsible for formulating and implementing agricultural policies. Okay. So yes, this should be there in your notes. So today you have seen some major challenges. Okay. You will see that अगर आप फिर से देखोगे कि बाद में 10 दिन बाद फिर कोई आर्टिकल आएगा, तो सी कि अभी हम लोग जितना पॉइंट्स देखे हैं 2-3 पॉइंट उस आर्टिकल में सेम ही रहेगा. ओके. सो नाउ द सेम पॉइंट्स विल मूव, यही पॉइंट्स मूव करता जाएगा. ओके. एंड द मोमेंट यू विल हैव कवर्ड 3-4 एडिटोरियल्स या 3-4 आर्टिकल्स ऑन एग्रीकल्चर प्रॉब्लम्स, योर दिस एरिया विल बी डन. उसके बाद कुछ नया पॉइंट आपको मिलेगा नहीं. ठीक है, सेम ही चलेगा वही. सो दिस दिस. ओके. सो manage your notes well, keep reading, and again we'll meet next Friday and Saturday. So Friday we shall have some again current affairs session, we call it case, and then Saturday we have a reading session. Okay, so see you all. Okay, bye bye. And those who are watching on YouTube, feel free to write your comments. Okay. And if you want any other topic to be covered, do let us know about that also. Okay. Chalo, bye bye.